keep myself in the dark, shadows watching over me, over me. You flick the switch, made a spark. From then on I wore my heart upon my sleeve. With you I bear all the scars. I was left with paper skin, you let me in. A different home, broken start. Baby, where do I begin? I begin. Rising up, we touch the sky. Won't be promising that I won't ever let you fall. We could build 1,000 stories high if we played a game, just you and I. Whoa, like a house of cards, house of cards. Hey, when it all comes crashing to the ground, we can start again and work it out. Like a house of cards, house of cards. Hey, you found me after the fire, like a diamond in the rough. We're strong enough, raising the bets, pushing higher, risking everything for us. It's all for us. Rising up, we touch the sky. Won't be promising that I won't ever let you fall. We could build 1,000
Hello once again, welcome to the start of a new week. Welcome to another edition of EPT Retro. I am James Hartigan alongside Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my retro babies.
Yes, we are taking a retrospective look at the early seasons of the European Poker Tour. We did the lion's share. We did the vast majority over the spring, summer months. This is just a little amuse-bouche for EPT Online as we close out Season 7 of the European Poker Tour. Just one more stop, one more place to cover. And then on Wednesday, it's all about EPT Online, which started on Sunday, continues until the 18th of November. We are going to be streaming the final tables of the 10K High Roller, the 1K Arena Championship, the 25K Super High Roller, plus we have 3 days of main event coverage. Very much looking forward to that. This felt like the appropriate warm-up, Joe, to kind of put a full stop on our look back at actual live poker being played back in the glory days.
Yeah, a full stop on all of the actual stops that we used to go to and in preview of the virtual one.
Indeed. So that starts on Wednesday. Tonight we're going to be covering the grand final main event from Season 7 from May of 2011. Tomorrow, it's the first ever Champion of Champions event, or to use its abbreviation, the Cock. And then it's all about the online series. A reminder, all your favorite star streamers are playing that right now. If you want to watch them go deep, hopefully in some big buy-in, genuine EPT events with trophies on the line. We've also got some great poker for you here, though, albeit poker from 9 years ago. And this is a chance for both Joe and myself to reminisce, because Joe, this is the point that you became an EPT commentator.
Yeah, see, I don't remember doing anything but the final table.
Interesting.
I don't remember this, whatever we're about to see here at the beginning. Is there any chance that I only ever did the final table?
All 5 shows, don't worry. I mean, the most famous hand, which I alluded to on social media earlier on, does not come from the final table.
Okay, so I remember doing that episode in the final table. I don't remember like early action at all.
This isn't really a surprise. If I asked you what shows you did from like the last event we televised, like at the end of last year, you wouldn't bloody remember. So what hope have we got going back to 2011? I say this is the grand final. Of course, you immediately, if you're an EPT diehard, will be conjuring up images of that glorious poker room in Monte Carlo, La Salle des Etoiles. But oh no, 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 no. We have this for you tonight. It's the room with the giant kryptonite shard coming out of its ceiling. This is the ballroom of the Casino Grand Madrid, because the decision was taken in 2011 not to go to Monaco, not to go to Monte Carlo. The grand final was held in Madrid for 1 year only. It was back to Monte Carlo in 2012. So a bit of a different destination, but the buy-in remains the same. It's a 10,000 euro buy-in event, 686 entries, a prize pool of 6.8 million euros, and a first prize of 1.5 million. And I believe, Joe, that we're going to pick up the action from the start of day 2, and we're not yet in the money. 104 players are due to get paid. There's a bigger field than that. And I think on day 2, during this first session, we are going to play down to the money. So we are going to have world-famous bubble coverage for you right now. So let's see who's at our first feature table on day 2. There is confirmation that Joe did do the commentary for this TV show.
Well then.
The Merce Dog.
If you lose, you lose. If you play good and you're unlucky, you lose.
The Merce Dog.
Bad, you get lucky, you win.
Marcel Lusk also on the main stage, as is Raymond Wu.
Whoa, whoa.
So this is the full lineup at our first feature table. Blinds are 600, 1200, average stack just shy of 70k.
Go right into it.
Marcel Lusk folding Queen 9.
You know why he folded it, James? Because it wasn't suited.
King 10 suited for Sean Bean.
James, what are the odds that's the exact same joke I made 10 years ago?
I'm going to say it's strong. Really
Not
strong.
Zero.
No bet. No bet. So Pavel has raised it to 2,600. Jason Mercier with ace-jack suited.
confident you can get this in here and someone's not going to squeeze you in the blinds. What a dream spot for sevens. Look at all those pot odds.
Yeah, Jose Mora in with King Jack of Hearts. Raymond Wu in position, and it is always coming 7. A set for Wu. It is top for Mercier. Second top for Mora.
Oh, this is the kind of flop and action and position that, like, every time you have pocket sevens in this spot, you're like, I'm going to flop a set. 2 other people are going to have top pair. I'm going to get all of the money.
So now we've got...
It's the kind of dream spot, James, that can make you woozy.
Wow. I'd love it if someone was going through the old shows and finding that these were exactly the same jokes. We can see the field ticker now that we've got roughly, well, just shy of half the field remaining, around 300 players left in.
What a fold.
Raymond Wu's flop raise does get both jacks to fold.
Oh my goodness. What kind of image does Raymond Wu have?
Jason
What
knows.
a fold.
Jason knows. We've got a few former Grand Final champions still alive in this. Nicholas Schweete is the reigning Grand Final champ. Rob Hollink won the Grand Final the very first season of the EPT.
What about yeah, there we go. Oh, that's another one, but not the one I'm looking for. I'm feeling Chorney.
Not sure Glenn Chorney is here, but Peter DeCorva is, and involved in a hand against Melanie Weissner. In fact, he's all in and looking for a king or a queen on the river to survive. Doesn't hit. DeCorva, Season 5 Grand Final winner. KO'd here on day 2, outside of the money. Melanie Weissner, one of the biggest stacks, 220K.
DeCorver headed to DeCorner.
In fact, Melanie Weissner is second in chips. David Sonderlin, current chip leader with 272K. Ben Wilanowski, who we saw win Berlin this season, third in chips, and there he is.
The money hasn't changed him a bit. Still a dork.
Juan Viceres going for his 6th EPT cash in this event. A player we don't often see this side of the Atlantic, Ted Forrest.
The very first interview I ever did, long form.
Bill Jam, William Reynolds, who provided the commentary for most of this season of the EPT when it was originally televised.
And if he didn't play in this, I likely wouldn't have done the commentary.
Good lay down.
Eugene Kachalov won the first ever Super High Roller event held at PCA 2011.
Pretty impressive.
And we are back to the main stage with 289 players remaining from that starting field of 686. Action folded to Marcel Lusk.
James, I'd like to sing you a song.
For England, James? For England, Alec.
I think there were a lot of Sean Bean jokes about that guy, if I'm starting to come back to me.
Small to big, Mercier raising with 9-7. Mora has him dominated with Queen 7.
No way, Jose. Oh wait, it's Carlos. I thought you called him Jose Mora earlier. Interesting.
$5,000 apiece. Mercier with kicker problems.
Mercier made the insta-full with top before to a raise. I think, yeah, in this situation, it's a little harder to get away from this blind not blind.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
So hang on, we had a set of 7s. Now it's trip 7s. All the 7s are out. It is always coming 7, and Mora improves to a full house on the river.
Yikes.
Can Jason Mercier avoid going broke here? 60K behind. 15,800. Mora shoves on Jason. It is all in to call.
I think Jason can get away.
Such a weird line.
There's not a ton of missed draws. It's just 7-3, 7-10, Queen 7, all distinct possibilities. Blind not blind. Nope.
Jason calls it off and is out.
Sorry.
That's what I love. He's not even going to show it. He doesn't even show it. He doesn't need the sympathy. Doesn't need everyone to know what a cold deck it was. Just a pro. Carlos genuinely feels bad. Apologize like Jason's one of his heroes. Maybe even was.
Olive Barry has been raised. Emil Matson, her opponent here. All in for not very much and called. Liv does have Simon dominated, but there's a 7 on the flop. Wow, this is the definitive always coming 7 tournament, it would seem.
Yeah. 7s from heaven. I seem to remember Liv just having a horrific couple of years after San Remo where like she just was always going broke in the worst spots.
You made the adjustment from 300 chips.
Excuse me?
You made the adjustment from 300 chips.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot of chips, 354,000.
A lot of chips, more than Fatima de Melo has. Ana Marquez, who came close to finaling the PCA this season. And Marquez, and another Spanish pro. Juan's sister, Maria.
That's cool.
There is
Brother-sister duo.
Juan with 7s against Wilanovsky's Jack-9, which is still the best hand on the river.
It's over for 7s. Never to be heard from again.
Yeah.
That is the look of a man who has missed with all of his pairs today.
Six, 255 players remaining. 612 blinds. Mora's on the button and is raised with 9-8 of hearts.
Look who thinks he's boss now that Jason Mercier is gone. He's like, I got this, guys.
Raymond Wu flats from the small blind with ace queen suited.
Ooh.
Demantis, Klimchiauskas, Demantis has called as well with Queen Jack, and something for everyone. 2 players with top pair, 1 player with second pair.
Raymond Wu continues running golden, just flopping the world, and everyone else has what we thought last time had hands that could pay him off. This time, he's got to get a little something. Oh no. Oh no, after he goes bet call, like sometimes I'm gonna even think about folding that. Like I'm probably not gonna fold, but think about folding. But Queen 9's a possibility.
I call.
Raymond Wu calls with the best hand. Jack required to avoid a KO.
Nice call.
7% chance of survival. There is the Jack for 2 pair. That sigh from Joe Stapleton spoke volumes. That was I can relate to that.
I was going to suggest, who's this, Bebex? Tennis, anyone? I was going to say that part of the reason why you might want to re-raise from small to big, from the small blind over the button raise is that you don't necessarily want to let the big blind in for super cheap. Obviously, it looked great when you both flop top pair and you have them out kicked. Don't want to play results by the fact that the jack hit the river, but yeah. I think 3-betting or calling in the small blind is totally fine.
Well, blinds have gone up to 800, 1600, and we have a raise here from Darren Elias with kings. Jack 10 of diamonds for Marcel Lusk on the button. He flats. Round to Carlos Mora in the big blind, who is going to call as well with 6-3 of hearts.
Do you think Austin Powers Gold member is at least a little bit based on Marcel Lusk?
No. I doubt very much that Marcel Lusk is on Mike Myers' radar.
I don't know, man. Mike Myers is Canadian, and there's a lot of poker on TV in Canada.
Bet of 6,200 from Elias. Marcel has flopped top pair here, and he has announced raise.
He's also announced smoking a pancake.
Enough to put Marcel all in is the response from Elias. Marcel calls it off and needs help.
For the moment.
Oh.
Marcel with 8 outs. Needs a jack, 10 or a 9. It's a deuce. There's only 2 things I hate. People who are intolerant of other people's culture, and the Dutch. Marcel Lusk eliminated on day 2.
James, I'm sure we'll get to it eventually, but this casino is in a weird place too, right? Not just Madrid.
Oh, yes. We'll talk about that later on as we see Ted Forrest go to the river against Chandra de Vries, and Ted Forrest's pair of 8 still good.
What is Chandra de Vries thinking about? Oh, okay. I thought he was facing a bet. Excuse me. So close.
Fewer than 250 players remaining now. And we're going to stay at the outer tables where Joel Nordqvist is all in with 8. Melanie Weissner way ahead with queens. No 8 on the river. The Snowman's Num Num no good against queens, and Nordqvist is KO'd. And Melanie Weissner now has almost 500,000 chips.
That is so many chips.
And that means she is the current chip leader. Alex Gomez, second on the leaderboard. David Sunland has dropped down to 3rd. Ben Wolinovsky still a top 10 stack, as are Juan Maceras and Ivan Demidov. Surinder Sunar, wow, we are kicking this old school.
So talk to me, were you...
You're French, right?
Yeah.
Where in France?
Nobody's perfect.
Sorry?
I'm from Toulouse.
Oh, okay.
To lose, what about to win?
South, yeah, that's, I know. I'm not that dumb. I know a little bit.
James, what was the live stream situation from here?
Just the final table, and it was broadcast on Eurosport, so it was actually televised rather than just streamed.
Oh, cool.
So 1,200, 2,400 blinds. As you can see, we have a new feature table. Jean-Claude Perrault, Ben Wolinovsky, and Juan Maceras among the players who've come to the main stage. Perrault has raised with Jack 9 of diamonds. Maceras with deuces. to Ben Wolanowski with King Deuce of clubs. So during EPT Berlin, Ben Wolanowski had not one but several t-shirts with the poster for The Spy Who Loved Me on it. He's repping a different Roger Moore Bond film here in Madrid, For Your Eyes Only, 1981.
I don't think I like that one either.
It's the best of the Moore films. I mean, the bar is low. It's not saying very much, but it's by far and away the best of the Roger Moore films.
The weird part is that I didn't mind the Roger Moore in general, or even the general tone of them, but the two, The Spy Who Loved Me and what was the one you just mentioned?
For Your Eyes Only.
For Yours Only are I just didn't care for those two. I like some of the worst ones with him. Man with the Golden Guns, maybe my all-time favorite, other than the new ones.
I mean, just objectively wrong.
And Live and Let Die, I also like a lot.
Oh, where James Bond accidentally wanders onto the set of a blaxploitation movie.
Yes. And he kills the final villain with a reverse vacuum.
So Ben Wolanowski got frisky with King Deuce. Juan Maceras responds by 4-betting with deuces.
How much do you have behind, please?
Oh, God, here we go.
Come on, man.
You sicko. You absolute sicko, Wolanowski.
This is some real strong 2011 poker. Oh, my 2011 races. I'm ill-prepared. I hope there's no flips.
Juan Maceras forced to fold the best hand. Wolanowski up to nearly 326k.
I mean, let me guess.
What?
I'd say you were a little bit over-aggressive.
Really? You don't say. Do you have any other tips for me?
This is the only one I can say right now.
Right there. Bromsey said it. Scaramanga, best Bond villain.
Objectively wrong. 1,200, 2,400 blinds.
James, what month was this in? April?
I believe this is early May. This was played from the 7th to the 12th of May, 2011.
5-1.
5-5.
Berlin champion Ben Wolanowski has opened under the gun with 9-7 of diamonds. Round to the blinds, Juan Maceras in the small has the snowmen's num-num. And Govert Matal is in the big blind. 7 of hearts, 9 of clubs. Matal calls as well. We have a queen, tray, flop. 8's still good. Down to 186 players, by the way, but a lot of eliminations as we get close to the money now. A reminder that 104 will get paid in this event, sharing the €6.86 million prize pool. Heads up to the turn, ace of clubs. I have every suspicion that Wolanowski is going to bluff Maceras off another pot.
Attempt to, at least.
But how much are you hating that board if you have 8s and you're facing a second barrel from an under-the-gun razor?
Hating it a lot. Except for, you have to consider the source, you have to consider the history, consider the reputation, and Juan makes a strong call there. Can he withstand the heat he's going to face on the river? Not the worst river card, at least. But if Ben, fires huge here.
No one comes close to James Bond 007.
I actually think. Ooh,
Nine
he
high.
does check it back.
I wish you bet because they're gonna look like a hero call because I was calling.
He was ready to call.
Those look that's nice in the account. But I was calling.
I think Ben made a nice last second read there and realized that he wasn't going to get away with it a second time.
So Wolinovski's dropped down below the 300k mark. And we're heading out into the field.
Yeah!
Where Lucien Cohen has just won a pot. Oh, he's got one. He's only got the small rat at this event. He hasn't got the big rat.
Must have some problems with customs.
Noah Boken all in with 5s against Victor Ramdin's 10s. And it's a set of 10s for Ramdin on the flop.
Diamonds. 6 of diamonds.
Going for Boken.
And Noah drawing dead on the turn.
So you owe me 1,600.
So fewer than 170 players remaining in the Season 7 Grand Final. Melanie Weisner still chip leader with more than $500,000. Alex Gomez sits in second. Bill Jam is a big stack, as is Ben Wolinovski. Victor Ramdin now sits in 9th.
If I don't root for Bill Jam to go deep in this, maybe we'll undo history and I'll fade out of this, like Back to the Future.
Carl Gordon Stanley is going to try me on James Bond trivia. Good luck with that, Carl. What was the subject of the book from which Ian Fleming took Bond's name? Birds
Can I guess?
of the West Indies.
Should at least let me guess first.
Sorry, Joe.
Was it Of Human Bondage?
No, it was Birds of the West Indies by James Bond.
Are you sure?
100%. Do you want to put money on it? I wouldn't recommend it.
You have any jello? Okay.
The gun raised from Aceris with Ace King. Big blind defend from Perot with Queen 9, and it's top pair for the Frenchman.
Saris very wisely checks back and turns gin.
$6,800 apiece. And Perot does not improve on the river. Carl from Russia with Love, next question.
Oui, oui.
I nearly referred to that guy as Ross. For some reason, I was thinking about Ross Perot.
Well, you know, it is the season.
It is the season. David Sonnelin has opened to 5,500. We get the all-in from Andre Alcaria with 7s, and now Jean-Claude Perot is all in with queens.
A nice little, like, believable, I'm all in.
How much you got?
47.
47.
That's a lot, dude, for King 9. Okay.
So it is Domination Nation, Alcaria at risk and behind. Eights, 7s, and 4s, all outs for Alcaria.
Didn't we used to stay at the Alcaria in Barcelona?
It is an 8 on the river. Queens get done dirty.
The straights and takes the pot of
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to look at him either.
Jean-Claude
Hey.
Perrault down to 4,700 and not happy.
He said his hometown is Toulouse.
Pas vrai, quoi. Ouais, me bouffer ça, moi, mais c'est pas vrai que je sois noir comme ça à ce jeu, quoi. C'est pas vrai que je sois noir comme ça à ce jeu, quoi. Et c'est pas vrai, quoi. Tiens, c'est pas vrai, quoi. C'est pas vrai. Je me suis fait massacrer à cette table. C'est des malades mentaux.
Oh, he's just leaving, huh? Is he really gonna just leave? That's so boss. I don't care that it messes up game integrity.
Wow. We have got quads here for Ivan Freites, who's bet 25,000 on the river. Leo Fernandez with the decision.
Can't be making that big of a laydown. You get a king or a jack here, you call.
30 seconds.
I guess a jack is the worst hand you can think about folding.
Well, Fernandez calls, pays off Freites' bet, sees that he's losing to 4 deuces, and mucks. More Latin American poker players. In addition to Freites and Fernandez at this table, we've got Alex Gomez, who we last saw at the final table of PCA 2009. So Alex Gomez has a World Series of Poker bracelet, has a WPT title, going for the Triple Crown by winning an EPT here in Madrid.
Me too.
Perot's back.
King 4.
And Perot is going to need to get lucky here. We're at 4 on the flop. Doesn't really change much. Perot still looking for an 8 or a 9.
8 of clubs. You don't need claps, no?
Okay, Perot picks up additional outs. The 4-10's working from as well now. But it's the 6 of diamonds. And Perot is eliminated as taking us down to 131 players. Closer to the money, with 104 players getting paid in this event.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
And we have May Macieras all in here with King 4 against Victor Ramden's Ace 6. Queen 4-6. King or a 4, not a spade. She does not hit. And May Macieras is eliminated by Victor Ramden.
Victor Ramden, look at that stack.
Ramden, 392,000. And is that Melanie Weisner stacking even more chips? This is Min Lee all in versus Ola Nørgaard. And that will be Min Lee eliminated. And we're down to 110 players now, really close to the bubble.
Just barely missed the min cash.
Wow. This guy's got 710,600.
Someone needs to tell him to clean his broom.
Mine's 2-4. Malinowski is raised here with Queen 9 offsuit. Sonlin calls in the big blind with Ace 6. And it is a 6-5-5 flop. Wolinovski's continuation bet called by David Sonlin, who has the best hand and is better than a 3-1 favourite. Scratch that. Wolinovski now nearly a 9-1 favourite, having paired his queen on the turn.
I mean, that's all you got to do is give a guy like this an opening to actually have it. You're not supposed to fold because a random scare card came on the turn. What about 2 random scare cards?
$142,800.
That was very precise for an overbet.
142,800.
Just in case you missed it the first time. I mean, designed to be polarizing, Joe, and I guess if Sonlin thinks it's
a big bet.
Nuts or rare, he might hero with a 6.
I have a blocker on the 6, so you can't have 6s. I fold.
Good laydown. Frustrating to play against this guy.
Nice bet.
It's the biggest, it's
We're
the
gonna
best.
Put some fun hands online after you see this one.
It's Bond and beyond. Got another all in here. Ace King versus Ace Queen. Dennis Chifarin is the at-risk player, but he has the best hand right now. The river is a jack, so Ace King holds, and that is a double up. There's another elimination. And that's going to take us down to 105 players. And the reason why the clock's been stopped, ladies and gentlemen, they're going hand for hand on the bubble in this €10,000 buy-in event from May of 2011. Next player out gets nothing. And min cash is worth €15,000.
You forget about how big these bubbles are now that it's, you know, we don't really do 10Ks anymore.
Shanda de Vries.
Don't do it, I'm trapping you.
Queen 7 in the small.
Is that all?
That would probably work on me.
You must be a glutton for punishment. How much did you start the hand with?
250. I haven't played a hand at the final table, so.
It's not the final table.
Feature table.
Oh, feature table.
You idiot.
Shanda de Vries has been at an EPT final table. Was in the last 8 of EPT Barcelona this season.
And this flop is going to be more than enough for Ben to pound this guy.
He has continued for 11,000. Wolinovski with the wheel draw, backdoor clubs, ace high, too many chips. Raises to 27-2.
Make it 49.
Whoa!
49. 49.
Raise 49.
It's all because of the verbal sparring pre-flop. This is all so unnecessary.
I mean, that's what somebody, you know, Ben Wolinovski, he gets under your skin. He makes you make weird plays like this. He makes you play an emotional game.
Yeah.
That is a mistake a lot of the time.
Yeah. So Wilanowski called in position, Joe. 10 of hearts on the turn. And, I mean, ace-high still the best hand. Wilanowski's still ahead. And with Jean de Vries checking the turn, Wilanowski takes the opportunity to bet 55,800. And Jean de Vries folds. Remember, we are on the bubble right now. We're hand for hand.
Told you I was trapping you.
That's another thing that makes it super unnecessary.
Did you look at your hand before that?
No.
Oh, okay. Nice out.
Thank you.
So we do have an all-in here. Xuan Lu at risk, but she has kings against Ted Forrest's ace-king.
Our flop is 3-5-3, 2 hearts on that flop. There is a king of hearts for the short stack. Still in the lead with her kings. Or 4 deuces. Turn card is a 7 of hearts. That is a heart flush redraw for the kings. Still in the lead as long as she can
So
dodge
Ted
an
Forrest
ace.
now only has 2 outs, and Xuan Lu successfully fades the ace on the river. That is a double up. We are still at 105. We are still on the bubble. Another all-in.
Oh.
Damian Roney at risk with ace-king, racing against Ivan Freitas with jacks. Roney looking for an ace or a king to survive. Needs to hit on the river. Doesn't. The Freitas crowd celebrate as Roney's eliminated in 105th place. He bubbles the EPT 7 Grand Final. The final 104 players are all guaranteed at least a min cash of 15,000 euros.
Poor Roney.
And I believe that's going to bring day 2 to a close. Christian Nergard will be the chip leader coming into day 3 with 726k. Melanie Weisner, William Reynolds, and Ben Wilanowski among the chip leaders. And we'll kick off day 3 in just a moment, but I do want to pick up what Joe was talking about during that last session, and that was relating to the venue. Gran Casino Madrid, which is about 45 minutes outside the center of Madrid, which really gives you 2 choices, Joe. You can either stay at a hotel that's a bit like a motel that's off a motorway near to the casino, or you can stay in a really nice hotel in the center of Madrid, which is a fantastic city, and take the shuttle bus, which was laid on every single day. There are pros and cons to both approaches. I know because I've done both. I've actually visited this venue 3 times in my career. The first and third times, I stayed in a motel close to the casino. The middle occasion, the following year, in fact, 2012, I stayed in the, I think it's the Hotel Intercontinental in Madrid.
So you stayed at the motorway the first time. Then you're like, let's give the nice hotel a shot. And then you realized it wasn't worth it. I got to go back to the motorway.
I think it's very different. If you're going to the destination as a visitor, and maybe you're a qualifier, for example, and you figure, well, I'm going to play the EPT main event, and then I'm going to try and see the sights. I see the advantage to staying in central Madrid. If, like you and me, you're going there to work, and you know you're going to be doing long days, and you could really do with cutting out a 50-minute commute at the beginning and end of every day on a shuttle bus, I think you're better off staying at somewhere that's a bit closer to the venue. But it really is in the middle of nowhere, which I don't think is ideal. It's not a perfect destination for an EPT. As lovely as the casino is, and as fantastic as the buffet they lay on is.
Yeah, wait, speaking of buffet, maybe this is a story for the next break, but wasn't there a hot dog story?
That was from Copenhagen earlier this season. Yes, let's save that one. That is a good story. That's an anecdote I'd almost forgotten about. So yeah, but right now we're going to continue our coverage of day 3 of the Season 7 EPT Grand Final from May of 2011. Who's on our feature table?
I started yesterday with 69, then I went like up to 79, down to 73, and then and then the levels go up, and then you can't get anything. So
that's when you need a flip or big hand.
Yeah, and I didn't get like
150 something like that.
Yeah.
So we've got Fatima and Eugene Kachalov on the main stage, plus Leo Fernandez. Dag Palovic also at the table. Juan Maceras. Average stack is close to 200k now. So we'll be at 104 players. Blinds 2,500, 5,000.
Put that down.
Michael Friedrich has Queen Jack under the gun +1.
This guy's going to be fun. Speaking of food, fried rich is my favorite kind of food.
Fernandez with pocket nines.
It's going to be the battle of the wacky sunglasses. Oh, wait, what are you doing? You need to be in.
I call.
Saris calls with threes, and Fernandez a huge favorite to double up here.
So again, all in players Leo. Wow. Let's see the flop.
Two.
Oh, 4.
Instead, it's another 5, so Maceras down to 2 outs.
You guys.
Nines hold, and Leo Fernandez doubles up. Two PokerStars pros going to battle there. Talking of Team Pro, Alex Gomez repping the red spade for Brazil. Victor Ramden from the US of A. Raymond Wo's just gone broke, out in 99th place.
That's too bad. Well, it's not all bad, I guess.
Xuan Lu came 3rd in San Remo, which was the event leading up to the grand final in Madrid. Donny Weisner, one of the chip leaders right now with more than $500,000. Ben Wolinovsky also a big stack. Alvaro,
Who's he terrorizing this hand?
Velasco all in with 4s. Ben's got 8s. He's got the snowmen's. Num num. And 8s are holding. Velasco needs a 4 on the river. Oh, he hits!
Oh. That's the only way to get Ben Wolinovsky. That's it.
Get supremely lucky on the river. So Velasco doubles up and survives. That's a dent in Wolinovsky's stack. He is still in the top 10 though with 533,000. Melanie Weisner sits in 5th. But it's the Scandies who are the big stacks right now. Ola Christian Nørgaard and Christopher Thorson. And there is Nørgaard racing against Lucien Cohen.
Ace King for the Rat King.
Ace King, Ace King. Allez. Go. Yes, Ace King. Oh, no. No queen, no queen.
I don't think anyone in the room is rooting for the As or the King.
Greenstein.
Oh, Lucky! Lucky run. Lucky, yeah! Excuse me, I am very happy.
Yeah.
Luki the Rat comes to Lucien Cohen's assistance there.
One of these players looks young, the other one's acting like a child.
much?
Do I need to count it out for you?
Okay.
6 chips and a
Too
chair.
much time to count, so I pass this well. Okay.
I might have to call.
We've got an all-in here from Johan Verhagen. Eugene Kachalov calls out of the small blind.
I mean, I have a monster. I mean, I haven't seen this in like 3 days.
Fatima calls all in from the big.
I didn't see them.
I didn't see them.
Thank you, thank you. That was really hard. I had to pick my brain for that one.
Just gotta fade 4 other live cards.
King high flop. Looking good for Eugene.
I didn't hit. I need to hit like a runner or at least.
Could see a double KO here. Sure enough, Kachalov takes out 2 players.
Good luck. Good luck.
Fatima officially 94th. Verhagen officially 93rd, but they're both cash for the same, 15,000 euros.
Going broke on the feature table is the worst because you got to be nice to everybody. You got to pretend like you're not furious. Good luck. Good luck. I hate you. I hope you die.
Ted Forrest all in with 10s against Bill Jam's queens.
The Suicide King.
10 on the flop.
A lot of people don't know this. Ted Forrest, one of the most prolific prop bettors of all time.
And Forrest set of 10s hold. Reynolds does not hit a queen. So that's a double up.
Ted Forrest taught himself to do a backflip so that he could win prop bets. Never expected, and that's why he would make so much money.
So those are the key stats. Don't know what time of day it is, but we do know there are 68 players remaining. The average stack is just over 300k. New face at the feature table. Couple of new faces, in fact. Round to Juan Maceras on the button, who's got 7-3 of hearts.
He's got 7 tray beat. It's a button raise. It's definitely not a fold.
Fernandez defends, and these two go heads up to the flop. King, Jack, 4.
Check.
Action goes check, check. Ace on the turn, and Fernandez has a lock on it. At this point, Maceras makes a delayed continuation bet of 15k. Fernandez calls.
Check.
Very easy check call. Maceras not wanting to show down 7 high.
Nope.
Probably going to get looked up here. Looking pretty easy. Shrug call. Wow! Wowee. I mean, if you know you're betting into an ace there, you don't even try to bluff that.
At the outer tables, Velasco all in against Wilanovsky again, this time racing. Ace-King versus 4s. Velasco needs an ace or a king on the river.
Velasco had the 4s last time, right?
Yeah.
4s are always good. Last hand, this hand. 4 is good.
And Velasco is KO'd in 66th place. Cashes for 20,000 euros. Oh.
Jolie poupée. Tu me fais rêver. Yes, look. Ace, 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 ace. Ferme ta gueule, putain.
Lucien Cohen's 9s ahead of Jason Grad's ace-8.
No ace. No ace. No ace. No ace. Lucky, no ace. Lucky, no ace. No ace. No ace. Lucky, no ace. Lucky, no ace. No king, hein?
Oh my goodness.
King, hein? Oh. No ace. No ace, no king.
Remember I said I wasn't sure how I felt about this guy?
Oh, jolie poupée. Tu me fais rêver.
I'm starting to become
no ace,
more
no
sure.
king. Yeah! Yeah! No ace, no king.
No, that was really rude, man. It was rude.
Excuse me, Mr. I am so expensive.
Okay.
That was Brad's big moment right there.
Well, you may have noticed that Thomas Kremser was standing by and I do believe had words with Monsieur Cohen at some point and told him that he had to tone it down.
I know this guy.
Yeah?
I play it all day.
Ah, okay, so he's crazy like this all the time?
There is the conversation.
Yeah. Why don't you take that caffeine away from him, too?
Well, I'm pretty certain that'll be the douchiest thing we see in this entire tournament. Oh. Wait, I forgot.
Raise 11,500.
Kachalov opening here with ace queen. With a dominated ace, Michael Friedrich 3-bets to 27.5.
Fried rich. Man, you're just never going to get the best of Eugene Kachalov in the spot. I think this is very optimistic 3-betting an early position raiser. Eugene Kachalov's not one of those guys who has a reputation for like getting super out of line. Better hands are never folding.
Oh, it's an ace-high flop. Kachalov checks. Friedrich.
I mean, Friedrich was going to be in bad shape because I think calling with ace-10 is fine in the hijack. Even then, you have to like be careful against the raise from that early. So he's likely to lose a bunch on this hand, but now he's going to lose more. Bloating this pot. Eugene, the raisin machine.
And Friedrich decides to shove the flop.
Oh
all goodness. In to call, and Eugene will call all in with the best hand. And it's going to get a full double up here by the looks of things.
You just have to ask yourself, how often is Eugene going to turn out with ace-9 here? Well, that's beating you too. Ace-8. Not that often.
Eugene up to 255,500.
What a gift.
And to the outer tables, where McLean Carr is all in with 10s. Torsten Brinkman all in with ace-king. Thorsten has them covered with jacks.
Wait, Torsten and Thorsten?
No, don't have a lot helping me there.
Thorsten's jacks holding. King on the river, so Brinkman survives.
Wow.
A clean car eliminated, though, out in 60th place.
Not just survives. I mean, Brinkman was covered, but had a decent stack. He's going to be a huge stack.
Yeah, Christopher Thorson, former chip leader. Torsten Brinkman, now 1.2 million. He may well have just become tourney boss. Yep. He is in the #1 spot, one of 2 players with a 7-figure stack. Ola Nergard still in the top 5. Ben Wilanowski, Melanie Weissner, and William Reynolds still in the top 10. Ben Wilanowski versus the UK poker legend Surinder Sunar. We only know Wilanowski's hand here. Pair of 7s. Checks out that got checked to showdown. 7s are good.
You know, I figured with a name as big as his, we would have cut to him sooner.
We're heading back to the feature table. Pocket 3s for Eugene Kachalov.
Right after I got done saying that you don't get super out of line for early. No, 3s seems fine.
This is Philippe Boucher with 6-5 of hearts.
You know, one thing that we don't get to see that much of when you're watching highlights is we don't know a lot about table dynamic, right? So if your table is like going multi-way, there's not a lot of raising or re-raising, not a lot of squeezing happening. Opening pocket 3s is a way different thing than if you're at a table where people are just taking all kinds of shots at you.
Yeah.
And although Boucher
How much do you have
getting
behind?
super out of line here.
130. How much? 130. 130 behind, right? Okay.
Eugene is not buying it. Man.
This is an interesting board. Set of 3s for Eugene. Philippe with the open-ended straight draw. Boucher bets the turn, 32,000.
I mean, I guess this is unfortunate for Boucher because this play would work a lot of the time, but also it's unnecessary.
Raises enough to put his opponent all in and gets the fold.
The pre-flop was just so unnecessary.
Alex Gomez has raised on a Nergard.
Or a nerd guard.
3-bet to 41,000. Gomez calls in position on the button. Queen, Queen 6 with 2 hearts. Gomez shoves the flop.
When you don't get snapped here, I guess that's good news.
That shove gets through. That rat is just so ridiculous.
And so is the rubber toy.
Even Freitas all in. Has aces against Dean Lyle's 10s.
Wait, go back to that shirt.
And aces hold. Freitas doubles up.
5.
59 players remaining now. Blinds 2,500, 5,000.
59 players remain. This ain't no regular EPT. This is a grand final.
10K buy-in. First prize of 1.5 million euros. Day 3 of the event, and Eugene Kachelov has got ace-king in the cutoff.
Sam, after watching Ivan Freitas win that last hand, says, that was a muted celebration. What a reasonable gentleman he seems.
Good read. Boucher all in with ace-10 after Kachelov opened with ace-king. Juan Maceras with ace-7.
Trying to suck you in, that's why.
This seems very optimistic, yeah, even without Eugene Ag behind.
Well,
ace-10 has got outs.
Yeah, Jackson 10's working for the Canadian. 15% chance of survival.
Don't worry, even if you don't hit a few years from now, you'll marry Kristen Bell.
Jack on the river. That is a double.
Kachelov just got punked.
Yeah. A lot of noise out in the field. Looks like Will Molson's just been eliminated. You might remember that Will was the runner-up in the high roller at the PCA 2 years in a row and then won that event in 2011. Talking of high roller winners, Tobias Reinkemeyer at risk here with 10-7. Pairs is 7. It's always coming 7.
Hell of a start.
Flush draw.
Not a great turn card, although flush draw.
It's an exciting hand, right? Pair, then ace.
Yeah.
With a
That
flush
added
draw.
a lot of
That's how
outs.
it's supposed to be.
Internet flop. Turn.
Brick on the river.
Alright, good hand. Good luck.
Marco
Yeah, right?
Leonzio wins the pot.
Nice playing with you. Okay.
Good luck.
And
Nice.
Tobias Reinkemeyer is eliminated in 57th place.
Call me Toby.
Tim Finney all in here. Action is on Bill Jam. He folds.
Okay.
And this is an all-in. Grzegorz Shikochi with 6s. Alex Gomez with a 7.
This is a flip.
Classic race. Too late.
Like attack.
Too late.
So fast.
6 required on the river. And the Polish Michael Stipe is eliminated in 53rd. $3,000, $6,000 blinds back at the feature table. Leo Fernandez. 7-3 offsuit. That's a fold.
Steve Oliver on Twitch asks, what's first take home? Cash, it's a money prize. Thank you for your question.
Eugene Kachelov. Queen deuce of spades on the button. Action's been folded to Eugene. He opens to 13-5. Rounds the big blind. Michael Friedrich. 4-3 off.
Oh, Michael. Oh, Michael.
13-5.
Just call. I'm fine with like defending your big blind with like unsuited small connectors. I think folding's fine. I think defending's fine against a button raise. But like I just don't know why you want to play a massive pot out of position with 4 high and one of the best players in the world. Like, you just never have the best hand. You just never folding. He's like, oh, I got re-raised. Better fold my queen deuce suited.
King 9-9 with 2 spades. Queen high flush draw for Kachalov. Queen high still the best hand. Friedrich, don't do it.
This immediate move for chips, too, is almost always posturing. Like, you see how he just snapped toward his stack? Like, it's almost never a thought-out value bet. When you have a king, when you have a 9, you're just not going to be this obvious about it. You're not going to be so eager to put chips in the middle.
Kachalov calls. Turn card is the king of diamonds. We have a double paired board now. Friedrich
Really don't
drawing
even
to
know.
a chop.
I don't even know if that's going to be enough to get rid of Eugene. Like, a lot of time people will fold their flush draw now. But I'm not even sure, like, Eugene's going to think Friedrich has any piece of this. Like, he might like queen high right now. Now, one way to find out is for Eugene to put in a raise. I think it gets rid of maybe even the ace highs that Friedrich is beating him with.
Call from Kachalov. The 4 on the river is inconsequential. It is actually the flush for Kachalov.
Yeah. Inconsequential for Friedrich.
Yeah, I mean, the irony is Eugene did not need to make his flush. Kings and 9s with a queen kicker, still good. And Friedrich, 3-bet pre, continued flop, barrel turn, and...
I mean, it's an important card for Eugene in that he's beating ace high now, right? Like, just in case he got re-raised with an ace. And he's beating, you know, other pairs. On the off chance he's up against, like, 10s or jacks.
Yeah.
But now he only has to figure out, am I up against a full house or not? $80,000 is, like, not a huge bet here. But it is a lot compared to Eugene's stack now that I look at this.
Let's go.
Good call, nothing.
You go. I want to know if Eugene makes the call if the river's a brick. 4 of clubs. Oh, Eugene. I miss Eugene.
The outer tables. Tim Finney all in with 10s, and he's run into Bill Jam's kings. Kings are holding. Tim Finney needs a 10 on the river to survive. It's a 5, and Tim Finney is eliminated in 48th place.
James, that's the Tim Finney Orchestra.
Woof. 3-6 blinds with 47 players remaining. Action has been folded around to the button. Michael Friedrich actually has a solid hand this time. Pocket jacks, opens to 16.5. Juan Maceras with 5-4 of diamonds.
See, this is what happens when you goof around so much. You have a real hand, and then people just take shots at you and get lucky.
260.
260?
4 for Leo Fernandez in the big blind.
Do it. Do it.
One button raise, flat in the small.
You wish you had 120, 130 right now, huh?
Ace 5-3 of
check.
clubs.
Well, somebody's gonna get hurt here. Unclear who yet. Looking like Maceras.
I check.
Pretty tough to bet again if you're Friedrich, yeah. Oh, the offsuit deuce.
And Maceras bets the wheel on the river, 44,000.
It's weird. You don't expect your opponent's going to have that many aces without 3-betting you.
And Friedrich calls and loses another pot.
How much?
Don't forget.
44?
Poor guy wasn't even out of line that time.
Meanwhile, out in the field, it's Wilanovsky versus Sunar, round 2. And this pot goes to Ben as well. Melanie Weissner versus Ankush Mandavia.
Two very talented American players.
Rebet from Mandavia.
49,500.
Such a demonstrative 3-bet. Suspicious.
Gives it up.
Are we going to see it?
We're not going to see it. Well, Melanie's dropped down to 303,000. No longer among the chip leaders. And we're going back to the main feature table. Blinds of 4-8, and we're going to sweat with Eugene Kachalov. Play a hand from his perspective.
Eugene the Sweat Machine. And I hope whoever we play against plays super bad against us.
Let's see where the action comes from. We are on the button. No, it's the small blind. It's Alessandro Limblici.
More like Limp Bleachy. He's raising though. Oh, all right, there you go. You'll figure it out.
19K. King Jack suited for Eugene.
Snap call. Perfect hand to see a flop with. Don't really want to get in a raising war. You don't want to like get it in against ace-7 or something.
King 9-6 with one spade.
Snap call again.
But what if he's
Easy.
got ace-king, Joe?
Then we're going to lose some chips.
Eugene calls. 7 of diamonds on the turn. Takes away the flush possibilities.
Yeah, we would have liked the spade there. And unfortunately, I think what's going to have to happen here is it's going to have to be... Oh, it's going to have to be a call again and reevaluate on the river. 8-5 got there on the turn. Don't really expect that too often. King 9's a possibility. Go on.
Calls the 48K. The river card, the Queen of Spades. What if he's got King Queen, Joe?
Well, we were losing already to King Queen. All in. Jack 10 is a hand that could fire all in. King 6, King 7. All possibilities. Queen 9 is a hand we're losing to now. Set of 6s. I've been so wrong with these lately. I think that this is a fold. Although we have a lot of chips left still if we call it our wrong.
Eugene calls.
Oh, just mucks.
Bleachy has 9-6 for 2 pair.
You were wrong. Yeah. Tough on the blind on blind.
Oh, he's very happy with himself. Eugene down to 271,500.
Well, we got one right, but I don't feel good about it, James.
Oh no, Lucian Cohen is stroking the rat. He is all in with trip jacks. Action on Alex Gomez.
Hey, somebody needs to call the exterminator, am I right?
Gomez folds. Hugo Lemaire has paired his 8.
Cool.
He calls and has 1% equity. And Lucian Cohen keeping very quiet. He's had his warning. He's been told by Thomas Kremser to behave himself. No shouting, no screaming. Just the really creepy stroking of a plastic rat.
He's being passive-aggressively quiet, though. I do not allow it.
Excuse-moi, je suis obligé de prendre le fun. C'est un français, ça me fait chier.
You can't be sarcastically quiet.
So I tell you what, Joe, how about we get this guy and his plastic rat up onto the feature table?
That's great.
We are midway through day 3. Torsten Brinkman still the chip leader. Simon Higgins has moved into 2nd position on the leaderboard. On the Nergard, still a big stack, as is Ben Wilanowski. So yeah, at this point there is going to be a change in feature table, and Lucien Cohen, Alex Gomez, and Ola Nergard are going to be coming to the main stage. So Joe, you wanted me to talk about something that happened, I think, at a different EPT, right? You wanted the Copenhagen story?
Yeah, the hot dog story.
Okay, so anyone who's been to EPT Copenhagen, and I appreciate that not many of you will have done, but I imagine Asif's watching, and I think he's been to every single EPT. There was a petrol station directly opposite the hotel and casino, which sold these ridiculously large hot dogs, which were nice. But don't get me wrong, when you've been in town already for a few days and you've had the hot dogs for lunch, you've had the hot dogs for dinner, you want a break from the hot dogs. You've had enough hot dog. You want to move away from sausage meat. And Copenhagen, the final table live stream in 2011, so this is still season 7. Nick Wealthall and I are hosting the stream, and we're on our own. There's no other commentators. The days are long. The breaks are short. You get about a 10 or 15 minute break, and it's getting towards the late stages. And what will normally happen is around the evening, 7 or 8 o'clock, if it looks like the event's going to go on for a while, they'll put in a dinner break. And because I think they got heads up in Copenhagen relatively early doors, or maybe it was three-handed, the tourney staff had taken the decision that they weren't going to have a dinner break. They were just going to play on. And I think that that's kind of a falsehood, right? Just because you're down to 2 or 3 players doesn't mean it's going to end anytime soon. And Nick and I, who were really bad sometimes at kind of egging each other on, were kind of starting to get a bit annoyed about the fact that we were getting to 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening and there wasn't going to be a dinner break. And it got to the point where we went on break and thought, well, surely now, they're still going, they're going to put in a dinner break. And Thomas Kremser took the decision, nope, we're going to play on, just take the standard 15-minute break, no dinner break. So Nick and I decide that we're going to stage a protest. We're going to go on strike. And as if this is going to have any impact on anything, that the 2 live stream commentators are basically having a lovey moment and are refusing to work, we said, we're taking a dinner break, and we're going to go down to the Blue Elephant restaurant, beautiful Thai restaurant, by the way, strongly recommended, and we're going to have a 3-course meal, and this tournament is not going to restart until we've had a proper meal. So we stride off feeling really, really pleased with ourselves. Workers of the world unite. Overpaid live stream commentators who are going to have a big meal at an expensive restaurant. We feel this is one for the little people. And we get down to the restaurant, and of course, it's closed because it's too late now. It's like 9:30 on a Sunday evening. It's shut. So Nick and I end up going across the road, having a hot dog from the petrol station, and of course are back in plenty of time for the action to restart at the end of the scheduled 15-minute break. I'd like to think we got to have our 5 minutes. We got to have our moment where we felt a sense of victory, but just complied with the rules. We're back in our seats on the mic for when the game restarted a few minutes later. Fortunately, it didn't go on too much longer after that, but I stand by my assertion that just because you're down to 2 or 3 players, especially in Copenhagen, doesn't mean it's going to be over anytime soon.
Yeah, well, first of all, congrats, Che Guevara. You guys really moved the needle on that one. I think that's the best case scenario, right? Because you guys got to feel self-righteous without actually having to burn any bridges. Because, like, there's a shot they may have told you to F off.
Probably
don't come back to the live stream.
Probably would have
and
done.
We'll find somebody else next time.
Yeah. That was the 1 year, I think, I was in Copenhagen where it didn't drag on for hour after hour after hour. We remember the infamous Tim Vance year, right? Which was...
that was a long TV show.
A long TV show and a very long live stream, a very long heads-up battle. The year previously, 2010, Anton Wigg, that had been a long heads-up battle. Okay, so this one didn't take particularly long. Fast forward 12 months, Mickey Peterson versus Pierre Neville. It took Mickey Peterson nearly a day to beat Pierre Neville heads up, something I will hold over him for the rest of his life. Anywho, we're not in Copenhagen. We are in Madrid. We're down to what, around 40 players now? Playing down to the final 3 tables, playing down to the final 24 on day 3. There has been a change of feature table. So let's continue the action and see who we've got on the main stage. Actually, we know already, right? It's going to be Lucian Cohen and his rat. It's going to be Alex Gomez. Should be a fun lineup.
Depends on your definition of fun, but okay. Let's see what happens. I should have gone through and watched the old shows and just scraped my jokes from them.
No, new commentary, Joe. It says new commentary on the stream
I can't
description.
promise it's new is the thing. It's just going to be slightly worse timed.
I think you've come a long way in 9 years. We've hammered out a lot of the hackneyed European, dumb American in Europe, mildly misogynistic stuff.
There was a lot of like me being weird about girls that I probably wouldn't do again today. Some of that. And then I used to do a lot of jokes about the location, which eventually after like my 5th season, I was like, well, can I really keep doing London jokes?
So Ola Nergard has opened here in the hijack. Has been called by George Yazbek with 7s. And that backwards flop is really disconcerting. It's a full house for Yazbek.
Every once in a while in poker, it just, you can't even believe it. You can't even, you're just like, is this real life?
Joe, this has been the event. In the same way that we saw so many sets of jacks at the PCA this season, this has been the event where it is always coming 7.
I wonder if this is the event that all those German people watched and spawned the 7 catchphrase to begin with.
I mean, Nergard just firing chips into the abyss at this stage. Shut it down.
It's just tough because, you know, someone's not supposed to have hit this hard. It's a very narrow range of hands. There it is. The slow down. To shut it down. Shut it down, Mike. Shut it down. Watch the legs.
Yazbek goes for value, 115,000.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, Nurgard Heroes with ace high. Oh, I wish we had the hero fail meme at our disposal.
Yaz Queen.
That superhero is crashing and burning right now.
That's going to look stupid on TV. Hey, sorry.
Story checks out. Story checks out hard.
Three-way action. What was our former feature table? Joseph Bakar, Leo Fernandez, Dag Pavlovich. Three-way to the flop. And that flop is 9-4 deuce. So that is top pair for Fernandez. Top for Bakar. Pavlovich, big favorite with the aces. And Leo Fernandez all in.
Oh. With the third best hand.
Pavlovich reshoves.
Oh my goodness. Holy. This is a huge spot.
Okay, now keep it 1 out. Okay.
Oh, I thought ace-9 stayed in there too.
No. Well, aces hold and Leo Fernandez is eliminated in 45th place. Cashes for 25,000 euros.
You know what was crazy? I told to Leo 1 hour ago that yesterday I limped the aces from under the gun and I took it, and so that's why he asked me against the aces, you know.
Okay. All right.
Crazy story. Ben Wilanovsky versus Eugene Unite, and that is a flop straight for Unite. Wilanovsky has turned top pair.
The United States of America. Oh, check's dark.
How much value can Unite get on the river? Goes for the lot.
These are my United States of whatever.
All in for 183,000.
Seem to remember Eugene was a chess player in addition to poker player.
And Wilanovsky calls and gets the bad news.
180 what?
That's going to be almost all of it. Yikes. So Berlin wasn't back-to-back with this, but was pretty recent.
Pretty recent. So Berlin was early April. San Remo was right before this at the end of April. This is early May. Just to repeat, 7th to the 12th of May this event took place at the Casino Grand Madrid.
Sorry, and who won San Remo in between?
Rupert Elder.
Oh, okay.
As we discussed last time, Max Heinzelmann was the runner-up in San Remo, just as he was in Berlin. Xuan Lu, third place finisher in San Remo.
Wait, 24 into 24,000.
Nurgard has opened with fours. His nemesis, George Yazbek, has called with King 10. Round to Alex Gomez, who has Queen 3. in the big blind.
I don't like it, even for good pot odds. Alex does, and he's a much better player than I am. Oh, well, see, this is different. Now, see, creative.
Squeezy.
Seems like he's got a pretty good read on Nurgout already. He's a little wild. Perfectly capable of opening light. Nice play. See? I was right when I said I don't like calling. And I was right when I said he's a better player than me.
Torsten Brinkman is the chip leader at this point on day 3. Alex Gomez is a top 10 stack. There is no place on that leaderboard for Ben Wilanowski. And now he's all in with ace-9 against ace-10.
Domination Nation.
Wow.
9 needed. Oh, spade draw. Queen of clubs on the river, and Ben Wilanowski is out in 44th place. Cashes for 25k. But don't worry, we'll see him in the cock. The Champion of Champions event. We'll be streaming that tomorrow.
I was going to ask you if we're allowed to call it cock for this, so.
King, ace, king, the flop. No problem.
Like attack the block versus hobo with a shotgun. One of these two things from May 2011.
I need a queen.
That was slight mathematical advantage.
Queen, king, or ace?
6 of hearts.
Yes, that's correct.
Ivan Freitas calling his outs in perfect English.
King, queen, or ace? Wow. I can surrender? No? No surrender. That's all. Sorry.
And Melanie Weisner eliminated by Freitas. .41 players remaining.
Hey, at least her and Ben could go sightseeing now.
Blind 6,000, 12,000. Just wait outside the casino for the shuttle bus.
How often did the shuttle bus run? Enough?
I have no idea. I mean, the ball of poker players would just call it cab, right?
I guess. Yeah, at the time, everyone still kind of had money. But they knew it was running out soon.
Nurgard raises small to big with 10s. Hugo Lemaire defends with ace-4 of spades, and it is a jack-10 deuce flop with 2 spades, a set against the nut flush draw.
As they say in Spain, see you at the Rio. That's confusing.
For the World Series?
Exactly. The Rio de Agua.
Lemaire now with a wheel draw to go with his flush draw.
That's so frustrating when you miss all this. You just hit the ace and go broke.
Nurgard bets 64,000 on the turn. Loving the Madrid travel tips from Asif. Cab costs 50 euros, but you can actually use the public bus if you walk through the garden centre next door.
Ah.
There's the ace on the river.
Oh,
Unlucky
no.
Hugo.
No. Oh, what a great river card for Nurgard, too. Just knows it. Just knows, like, boom. just definitely improved my opponent.
I call it.
Oh, max value for Ola Nergard. What a mare for Hugo Lemaire.
Hugo La Nightmare.
So these are the stacks we have at the feature table right now. Nergard back up over 900,000, back up among the chip leaders. Lemaire opening to 23k with Queen 10 of clubs. Lucien Cohen has pocket aces.
You can't spell rat face without 2 A's.
Just calls in the small blind. Flop is ace, king, 3, top set versus a gut shot.
I mean, the bad news for aces here is that you're probably not going to get a whole lot of value unless a jack comes, and then you're going to get no value.
Raise.
Looky.
Looky.
Cohen raises to 65,000 and cradles the rat. So creepy. Lemaire folds.
Bien joué.
Yeah. Hard to get paid there. Stupid aces.
Just to be clear, it is a plastic rat and not a rat he's actually had exterminated.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's the case.
I just had this horrible thought. It's the dead body of a rat. We've got 2 players all in here, Bakar and Friedrich. Ceres has them covered and has the best hand right now. King, king, 7 on the flop.
A7, as I said.
Queen 10 hold here?
That would be crazy.
Yep.
River is a 4. Queen 10 does hold. That is Bakar out in 40th and Friedrich out in 39th. Both cash for 30,000 euros.
Juan Ceres.
Eric Vandenberg has called Ted Forrest's all in. Ted with ace deuce. Vandenberg with jacks, top set, not looking good for Ted Forrest. Drawing dead on the turn.
Good game, sir.
Forrest out in 38th place.
Do a backflip. Come on, do it.
Good playing with you, sir. It's a pleasure.
How's Bill Jam getting on? You good, Billy? Billy.
About average, I guess.
Daniel Weinman all in with deuces against Torsten Brinkman, who's got ace 9. And there's a 9 on the flop. Weinman needs a deuce, doesn't hit. 2 pair for Brinkman. Weinman eliminated. Brinkman still chip leader with 1.6 million. We've now got 4 players with 7-figure stacks. Nergard closes out the top 5. Ceres, Mandavia, and Gomez all in the top 10.
What is this?
It's a poker game, Joe.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? This raise.
Oh, it's a raise to 26,000 with 9-6 of clubs.
Not really recommended.
When you've got a plastic rat,
what?
you
Nerd
don't
guard.
need cards.
What happens now?
If you call, Chips also have to stay. It's only if you raise.
So if I call, he must raise.
He
right?
must raise, yeah. He must.
Can I ask how much the raise? I'm just asking.
He should be allowed to know the amount it was, right?
I call.
So, with Gomez calling, Nørgaard is now forced to raise a 3-bet to 55,000. And I think we can safely say this will be the most controversial thing we see in this tournament.
Stop doing that.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Oh my goodness.
Now Lucien Cohen has folded out of turn. Action is actually on Sultani, who's got 10s.
What a great thing that happened the one time you get out of line with 9-6. You're just like, nope, that was definitely the wrong move. No problem.
Okay.
Officially your turn.
I'm all in.
Of course.
That's going to be a fold.
I have this huge hand. This table is so big. You need like a telescope to see it to the other side. Okay. Good call.
Show one card.
I'm sorry.
No?
I'll tell you the end of the day.
I had the real hand, you know?
You did not.
Alex Gomez up to 788k now.
I think that's how you got to play it, by the way, with jacks there.
Sorry to put you in this position, Joe, but you now need to play a hand from Rat Guy's perspective. We're going to sweat with Lucien Cohen.
Can you mute it?
Nope, but I'm going to mute myself. Taking a short break. Do your thing.
All right, my babies, here we go. So far, I love the way we're playing it. Let the other players act before we do, unlike the last hand. Andre Danielyuk. We've got Queen Jack suited. I know this is going to sound crazy. You can just fold Queen Jack suited. I know. Calling's fine too. All right, so nobody else in the pot. We'll have position. Nobody 3-bet, which is good. I see a diamond. I like it. A jack and a diamond. Pretty much as good as you can hope for with Queen Jack. And right now we are in check call mode. $32,000. Top pair, good kicker. Happy to call. Nope, that's a raise, 202,000. What I don't love about this raise, unless we're like purposely trying to get Danielyuk to raise with an air ball. Yeah, to shove with an air ball. What now, Lucien? What now? You know what? I wouldn't have played it this way, and I wash my hands of the rest of this.
Lucien Cohen, I wash my hands of you.
I think you have to fold. There's not a lot of draws here. You're not up against a lot of semi-bluffs. There's no flush draw. There's very few straight draws. Danielyuk, you know, can have queens and kings and aces.
Have you factored in the rat in any of your thinking?
There's no rat factor.
You sure? What do you mean?
In my thinking.
Okay.
I don't. Coden does fold, and it's aces. It's aces. Who would have known? Hey, speaking of rats. Oh no, rabbit hunting. Can we see the next two cards, please?
Cohen down to 210,000. He is a short stack.
Electric Jeans asks, how can you be in check call mode when you're in position, Joe? Because you're either checking or you're calling. So, you know, check call mode applies to all of the positions you're in. So if he had bet, we would have called. See how that works? Thank you for your question.
Gomez opens under the gun here with 8-6 of hearts. 11 more eliminations, and we will be down to the final 3 tables, and that will bring day 3 of this EPT Grand Final to a close. Lucien Cohen, 10-9 of spades in the big. Interesting. Top pair for Gomez. Flush draw for Cohen. +2 overs. Gomez can see that Cohen does not have a lot behind.
Alex bet 36,000.
Cool. I get myself in these situations all the time where you flop like the non-nuts against someone whose stack you just can't possibly fold to.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like the way Cohen's playing this. Kind of feel the flop is the time to get your chips in. Now you're being forced all in with 1 card to come.
Yeah, never a good feeling.
And Cohen forced to fold it.
Alex, take this spot.
Gomez up over 890k.
If you jam the turn, sometimes you just win.
Well, this is Vasily Fursov all in with queens against Eugene Kachelov's ace-king. It's the sickest and classicest of all races. Queens are holding. Eugene looking for an ace or a king. It's a 4 on the river, and Fursov will double up through Kachelov. Bill Jam with ace-king. Raymond Sluter has raised with queens, and Bill Jam is jamming. William Reynolds all in. Here we go again.
Like Party Rock Anthem versus The Edge of Glory.
I'm going to let James handle this one on the broadcast.
Okay, well,
Right now.
basically, William, you need an ace or a king.
The hand played itself. I think so. That's all I got.
You know they love better than I do.
I really need Will Reynolds to hit an ace or a king here so I can keep my job. Will.
Doesn't hit.
All right, let's count them.
Oh, no, he's not out yet, though.
1, 2, 3, 390, 410.
It's going to be really short. Yeah, left with just 14k.
Well, it's not a million chips, but it'd still come back.
Just survived to the end of the episode.
You know who Raymond's partner is, right?
Raymond?
The guy who just took most of Will Reynolds' chips.
Raymond Sluter?
Yeah, that's Fatima de Melo's other half.
Oh! I didn't realize until this moment that I hate that guy.
Hashtag fun facts. He is now second in chips.
Everything I've ever heard of him is lovely.
Andrew Lee with kings under the gun.
It is your turn. I know there's a lot. There you go.
There has been a lot of confusion.
Yeah. Oh, what a cold deck. What a cold deck. Even if you take
32.
The the UTG raise seriously. Jacks is way too strong.
All in. Call.
All in and a call. Well, Gomez has got Lee well covered, so he's not at risk here.
No jack. You shouldn't say it. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't say the word never. When I'm online, I'm playing, and you say it. It doesn't matter. No, but whatever I say, it doesn't matter.
King's holding.
You know who I'm rooting for here.
The jack of flower. If it doesn't come on the flop, it doesn't count. Yeah, I believe it. You do? Yeah. Not well in this case. Pretty sure it's coming.
Lee just has to fade a jack on the river.
You know.
He doubles up and survives.
Well played.
It's 2 something.
Gomez down to 600k, and we're back to Bill Jam's table where he's all in with Jack 10 against Pedro Javier's King Queen. King high flop.
Alright, that's all she wrote.
Bye, Bill Jam.
Nice playing with all you guys. I tried to do my best.
You did, buddy. You did your best by me, that's for sure.
Down to 34 now. William Reynolds cashing for 30,000 euros in 35th place. Andrew Lee folds the button. Hugo Lemaire has aces in the small blind, raises to 26k. George Yazbek with King Queen in the big.
More like Hugo American Airlines.
If only we were still using that. Oh wow. Aces outflop big time. Trip queens for Yazbek. $25,000 from Lemaire. Quickly called by Yazbek.
Right, slow down with the quick call there. There's not a lot of... It's pretty dry board, so... Luckily you're up against aces, and they almost never get away. But look at this, Lemaire checking again already. Checking already.
Yazbek betting 63,000. Lemaire calls. We're going to the river. Well, Lemaire continues for Lemaire as Yazbek boats up.
I mean, Yazbek, if he sizes this at all big, I feel like Lemaire could get away. Like, he's losing to a 5 now even, right? So best case scenario when you get snap called on that flop. I guess some times you're up against like 10s, but jacks are beating you now. The 5's beating you. Oh, wow. Nope. Just, hey, look, it's hard to fold aces.
How would you describe your time at the feature table, Hugo? Say Lemaire.
Thank you.
Yazbek up over $1 million. We're going to stay at the feature table. 34 players remaining. And it's 5-4 of hearts under the gun for Alex Gomez. Raises to 26,000. Now to George Yazbek, who's got King Queen. Flats. Andre Danieljak with 9-6. Lucien Cohen, super short. Jack 9 of hearts calls out of the big blind. And three-way to the flop we go. 8-7-7. And Cohen decides to move all in with his flush draw. Gomez with a straight flush draw. Could well gamble here for just 100K. Well, he decides to reshove, gets rid of Yazbek. Lucien Cohen is the favorite here. Nearly a 3-1 favorite. Gomez can't believe that his flush draw is no good. But 6s, 5s, and 4s are working for him. Yeah, Cohen does have the straight flush draw, of course, with the 10 of hearts. Of course, Cohen doesn't actually need to hit.
King. No 8, no 8. Boom. Yeah.
Ah, it's the type of pot that everyone loves. Joe's taking a break. That's not going to stop me, ladies and gentlemen. You know what they say. Everyone loves a chop pot. Solo edition. Can't believe it. He missed it by literal seconds, but just caught the pot at the end.
That's good, right? Can we? That was a latency issue, I think. So I'm going to chalk it up to.
Eugene Unite with a set of 3s here. Nergard with a pair of queens, shoves on Unite. It's all into call. He does call.
Not the first time Nergard stepped in it.
Is a ludicrously huge pot, Joe. That's a 2.4 million chip pot. A massive double up for Eugene Unite. And most of Nergard's chips are gone, down to 125K.
A bit of a yo-yo. The Nergard.
Unite must be chip leader now. Philippe Boucher all in with 4s against Juan Maceres' kings.
Boucher's still in, huh? Good for him. Not for long, I bet. Not for long.
Not just the sailboat saving him now, spades.
Not spade long.
Okay, take pair the board.
I'll take this down spade. That's all right.
It's the 8 of diamonds. And Philippe exits in 28th place.
Sorry, should I just shove? One. Should I just shove?
Lucien Cohen all in with ace-queen. Andrew Lee in the small blind has ace-7 of diamonds.
My friend, go.
I just want to know. I might fold.
No for you to pay. My friend.
I think that Cohen would have to shovel fairly wide here. This is really close.
All in.
Raise all in from Andrew.
Are you? All in. You? Do we show?
Showdown. Showdown, please.
Sure, if you want to. I don't know.
Domination Nation in Lucien Cohen's favor.
Allez, bébé. Allez.
Is the 7 always coming?
Queen.
Running diamonds, maybe?
Queen.
We're all just like, what's it gonna take?
No. Ah, easy. Oh. Ace.
7.
Ace.
7.
Oh, arrête d'appeler les cartes. C'est pas possible. Arrête d'appeler les cartes. Ace. Queen. Oh là 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 là. Queen.
Okay.
No. 10. No. Wait, 10. 10.
He doesn't even know what card he wants.
10.
7 or a 6 on the river eliminates Rat Guy.
Ace. Ace.
It's a 6 for the straight. Throws his plastic rat away in disgust as he's KO'd in 33rd place.
Lucien Cohen, rats off to you.
Andrew Lee. Only 680k as Cohen cashes out for 30,000 euros.
Thank you, Andrew Lee. Thank you.
Eugene Kachelov all in with King 4. And it's not looking good. Torsten Brinkmann flops the nut flush. Eugene drawing dead on the turn. Kachelov KO'd.
Brinkmann running super hot.
Well, you're going to love what happens next, Joe. It's the Super Schlug VT.
Oh, wow.
Vandenberg, that guy, and many others gone. Taking us down to the final 24 and closing out day 3 of the EPT Season 7 Grand Final. Eugene Unite, the chip leader. So, day 4 almost upon us, the day when they play down to the final table, and coming up in the next 60 minutes is the hand you've all been waiting for. One of the biggest moments in EPT history. If you've never seen it before, you are in for a treat. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you cannot wait to see it again.
It's actually kind of interesting, James, because, you know, having to call this hand so early in my EPT sort of premiere, my debut, my first time, I didn't really have strong opinions developed yet about poker and what various rules mean or what etiquette is. Do I look like a weird computer blob right now?
Oh my God, I didn't notice.
I'm gonna. Oh, that's great. As soon as I address it, it's gone. Anyway, I hadn't really I didn't know who I was yet, as where my sensibilities were going to be, and it's a very delicate situation that's about to come up. A couple of them, actually, and I remember that we had to talk about it. We had to say what are we going to say? How much are we going to vilify this person? How strongly are we going to word it? And I have a feeling that now we would all probably handle it a little differently. But I'm happy with the way we handled it.
I mean,
I don't think it would be exactly the same.
Sure, but I mean, I've talked about this recently as well. Actually, do you know what? Let's just get through this next day of action. Let's get through day 4 of this event, and then let's talk about it afterwards, because I have changed my position slightly on where I stood at the time.
See?
Should point out that we are covering an event from 2011. That's how we do things on EPT Retro. We take a 2020 perspective on ye olde poker. Should point out that we've got original action for you coming up later this week. EPT Online is underway. 6 days of live coverage on Twitch, on YouTube, starting on Wednesday with the 10K high roller. We've got the 25K super high roller. We've got the 5K main event. Plenty of action to look forward to. It is going to be streaming at the usual time. We start every day at 6:30 p.m. GMT. That is 1:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central European Time. So 6 days of action to look forward to. So thrilled that we are bringing you an online version of the European Poker Tour. But right now, we are going to continue our live poker action from 2011. This is the grand final from Season 7, the penultimate day as they played down from 24 to 8. Alex Gomez, Triple Crown contender on the main stage, along with Victor Ramden, who's locked up his 5th EPT cash, fellow Team PokerStars Pro Juan Maceras, and a player called from Venezuela, called Ivan Freitas.
The Ivan Freight Train.
There's the full lineup. We've also got Andrei Danilyuk. Lines right now are 10,000, 20,000 with a 2,000 ante.
When are the Ghostbusters going to show up and get Slimer out of that chandelier?
I only noticed this time around that chandelier changes color as the day goes on. Ace Queen suited for Ramden. Victor raises to 45,000. Juan Viserys in the small blind has pocket sixes.
Seems reasonable. Will DeJoe says, oh, I've just realized the moment you're on about. That's right, it's coming. Oh, a 3-bet with the sixes.
That's right, it's the moment we've been building up to. Victor Ramden all in and racing with ace queen against sixes. We've been wondering since the start of this broadcast, will Victor Ramden make an EPT final table?
I'm an 8 or a 7.
And sixes hold, and Victor Ramden is eliminated in 23rd place.
Take care, good match.
Good luck. Play with the sixes, honestly. But
Yes,
speaking of questions, to answer a question from YouTube, yes, the rest of the tournament will be streamed now until the final trophy, the final card, and the trophy is lifted.
Yeah. Playing all the way through as we see Raymond Sluter all in with kings. Tamas Lenvai with ace-king. And there is an ace on the flop, always an ace on the desk. Fatima disgusted.
It's Fatima de Mello.
And that will see Raymond Sluter eliminated in 22nd place.
Oh, what a guy. I feel terrible for him.
Torsten Brinkman gone to the turn against Eugene Unite. Unite with a pair of eights and a club draw. Bets 100,000. River card is the 4 of hearts, pairing the board.
Praying for a check. Right. That's to decide between showdown value or turning his hand into a bluff.
170,000.
Is aiming for bluff.
Brinkman calls. Unite shows the eights. And Brinkman mucks. What's he calling with there?
It was a value bet, I guess. Sevens?
5?
Queen high?
Huh. Eugene Unite close to 3 million chips. Torsten Brinkman's second biggest stack with 2.8 million. Most of the players now in the top 10 have 7-figure stacks. Andrew Lee and Alex Gomez, 780 and 648 respectively. Average is now $1 million. $21 remaining. Gomez opens under the gun with 7-4 hearts.
I don't know what's up with these loose opens. I don't.
Call from Gerardo.
You're out of position. You've got a hand that flops pretty bad.
Well, Gerardo Godinez is called with 4s. Sharia Sultani has 9-4 of spades. Calls out of the big blind. 3-way to the flop.
I mean, maybe he's targeting the big blind is one thing I can think of. Maybe he thinks Sultani is like a weaker player and that he'll be able to play against him post-flop. Obviously, when you raise, you know, it's the big blind that's most likely to come along for the ride. The big blind and the button. So maybe if he thinks he can outplay both those players, that's why you'd open a hand like this. And I mean, this flop's pretty good. Everyone with the same draw with every 4 in play. He's got backdoor spades.
So is this still 3-way going to the turn?
Yeah, because everyone has the same straight draw.
Huh. Gomez picks up the heart draw.
And pocket 4 is, you know, the only real hand here, and it is a spot when you're going to be up against a lot of paint, and you're beating anybody, you know, that has two big cards in their hand. As long as they aren't the same big card.
Godinez bets 120,000, gets rid of Sultani. Gomez moves all in.
It's so hard to call this.
And that is a fold. And this may be my favorite Twitch comment ever. You ever see that Christmas video where the kid flies around with the snowman? He didn't say num num. First of all, that Christmas video where the kid flies around with the snowman is called The Snowman. Not to be confused with snowmen's who do say num num.
Nom nom. Gomez with some power poker definitely is going to consider himself to be the most experienced and best player at this feature table.
Yeah, has opened to 53k under the gun with 8-7 of spades. Ivan Freitas flatting under the gun +1 with 9s. Juan Maceras with 5-3 off. And he gets squeezy. 3-betting to 164k.
So out of line.
So Gomez folds, Freitas calls, heads up to the flop.
What's up with that face?
Queen, 9, deuce, a set of 9s for Freitas. A common theme. This guy is going to start running golden from here on out. I mean, I say from here on out, we've seen him win races on the bubble, win races in the money, flop quads. He's been running good for some time now.
I raise.
Announces raise and raises.
I mean, the good news for Maceras is this is not a difficult decision at this point.
You win.
You got out of line. You got caught. You ran into the nuts. Peace out.
¿Eh? Yo no como de pro. No, hay high. Mesa.
They remind me of the old MTV Movie Awards, the popcorn bucket.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Queen, Jack of diamonds for Juan Maceras. Raises to 55,000. Freites with 9-8. Calls and flops 2 pair. Viserys does have a gut shot and backdoor diamonds.
Yeah, maybe Freites can get a little value this. Nope. Okay. Checks the second time.
Delayed c-bet from Viserys of 65,000.
Checks. Wow, Viserys just won't give up on this, huh?
$125K.
Pretty easy call.
Freites wins another pot, wins another hand against Juan Viserys. Meanwhile, Hugo Lemaire's mare continues. All in with ace-8 against King Jack. Oh, actually, gets in with the best hand. This may be the turnaround he's been looking for. This could be a double up. Alternatively, Lenvite could flop top pair. No ace on the river for Hugo Lemaire, and he's eliminated in 20th place.
The night Lemaire is over.
Tamas Lenvite up to 1.64 million. Loving it.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend by your ears.
He's 7th in chips right now, just behind Ivan Freites. He's moved up to 6th on the leaderboard. Inside the top 5, Daniel Yuck, Brinkman, Viserys, Simon Higgins 2nd in chips, Eugene Unite chip leader with 2.9 million.
Simon Higgins, where did he come from?
He's been a big stack for a while now.
Yeah, suspect.
Lenvi bets 66K on the flop in this 3-way pot. Got a fold from Higgins.
Yee!
Andrew Lee.
Oh, Lee.
Raises.
The Knights who say Lee. Seems unnecessary. Oh, that could be real bad. Good.
Check. Check. Ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5. Oh, at least you're around for this one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, was Lee raising that flop with a 6? Never.
So this is going to be a chop pot, and you know what they say, Joe? Everyone loves a chop pot.
Apple juice.
Sultani all in with Queen Jack. Decision on Alex Gomez with King 10 in the bag.
Kind of unfortunate to run into King 10 there.
Gomez is called. Sultanas. Ace, Queen 7. Gomez outflopped. Sultani survives unless there is a king or a jack on the river.
Not just survives, also doubles TF up.
Gomez, 537,000. So these are the stacks of the players specifically at the featured table right now. Down to 18 players, 2 away from the final 2 tables. And this is Pedro Palliser with Queen 9 of diamonds.
Palliser man will pass.
Raises to 55,000. Alex Gomez with Queen Jack. He's in the small blind.
I think Palliser is Spanish for business in the front, party in the back.
Pocket tens. Even Freitas.
All into.
Reshoves.
Yep. Not a terrible spot here.
Good luck, Alex.
Gomez rarely going to be ahead with Queen Jack.
Thanks, man.
So it's a race, Joe, but we have seen how well even Freitas has been running in this tournament.
And there's at least a queen folded.
Okay, now it's my turn, okay, Sarah? Pode valete ou dama?
You want to use your one time here?
I would.
Ace, ace, 8. Tens holding. Freitas now a 3-1 favourite to eliminate Alex Gomez. King on the turn gives Gomez additional equity. Kings, queens, and jacks working for him.
Not the 10 though. Got it.
It's a jack. Gomez survives.
Nice.
You don't usually see the freight train coming, and I did not see that river.
Gomez back up over $1 million. DJ White says, if I know people, and I think I do, I like the cut of Freitas' jib. Solid guy.
Oh, you guys are cracking me up today.
So Andrew Lee now at the feature table, opening with ace-queen. Pedro Palliser with aces.
Hard to go wrong here, even if you do sport a mullet.
Yeah, I'll notice that we've broken a table now. We're down to 16, so a few new faces on the main stage. As Freitas looks down at 8s.
Snowman's num num.
So Freitas flats the 3-bet from Palliser. Lee, the original raiser, folds, heads up to the flop. And somehow aces are still ahead. King 7-3, Palliser 91% favorite.
Yeah, this is weird.
Continues
My
for
name.
160,000.
My name is Nathan Fielder.
Freitas calls.
All in.
All in and a call. And Pedro Palliser is going to double up through Ivan Freitas unless there is an 8 on the river.
If there's an 8 on the river, it will be one of the worst things I've ever seen.
No. Pedro survives.
How are you not up against a spade there?
Oh, the wheels coming off the Freitas train.
Nine in the river.
Another all-in. Demontis, Klauchauskas at risk with Queen 10, dominated by Eugene Unite with Ace Queen. Oh. And that will see Demontis eliminated. Out in 16th place, cashing for 50,000 euros. 15 players remaining in this 10k buy-in event, playing for a first prize of 1.5 million euros. Eugene Unite, chip leader right now, just ahead of Simon Higgins on the leaderboard. The other big stacks include Andre Danilyuk and Torsten Brinkmann. At the other end of the leaderboard, Dag Palovic and even Freitas are the short stacks. In fact, Freitas is the shortest of all the stacks with 386k. Thomas Pettersson all in with queens against Torsten Brinkmann's tens.
Okay, now a 10 would be a really, really terrible thing that I don't want to see.
It's a 7, it's a spade, it's the queen high flush, and Pettersson doubles up and survives.
Like you, you should have shuffled in. Then not triple, that's much better.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Back at the main stage, Freitas is all in with 10-7 against Pedro Pellicer's ace-king.
Well, I guess this is it for him.
Not if you flop a flush, but be careful of the premature celebration. Hey, there's Bolivar Palacios. Pallicer has the king of
I don't
clubs.
think this guy's done anything karmically to deserve another club coming, James.
Well, actually, he has.
Future ugliness notwithstanding, I think it's super cool that there's so many Latin Americans who have come over to Spain to play this event.
Yeah, I kind of think we have to put it into context, though, Joe. And, well, there you go. We can have a look at the hands
great
that
thing to talk
Freitas
over.
has played. His last 55 hands. Yeah, 20% VPIP, 1-7, lost 4, interesting range. I think the most important thing to stress here is that there are already rumors flying around about an ugly play that this guy made. A potential angle shoot. We'll talk about it after this hand because Ankush Mandavia is all in with ace-4 against Andre Danilyuk's ace-jack.
Oh, got the 4. Danilyuk.
One more 4.
Domination. Rotation. But look at the outs for Danilyuk. 17 cards working for him.
Come on.
And that's one of them. Mandavia KO'd.
Say 9. Good game.
Well, ultimate justice, but disappointing for Ankush.
Danilyuk up to 2.5 million. I just want to pause there a second because I do want to talk about the Freitas situation because I think it's very easy to look at it as one hand out of context. It's coming up, by the way, but I think I need to put it in context because it wasn't just talked about from this event. It was talked about from previous events. This guy played a few EPTs this season. He was well known on the Latin American circuit, and he has a move he likes to make where he gets very confused on the river in big situations where he has a monster holding, where he basically gets confused between the words raise and call, where he basically says the word raise, puts out the chips for a call. When he's asked, well, what's your raise size, then goes, oh, no, sorry, I got confused. I didn't mean to say raise. I meant to say call. His opponent then thinking, oh, well, In that case, he's going to be forced to raise, verbal declaration binding. He's obviously not that strong. I can potentially bluff him off by re-raising, and then, of course, gets absolutely screwed when he then immediately snaps.
Or just calling, right? Or
Yeah.
you just call the raise.
Yeah.
But either way, he gets more chips, potentially. Here's one of the things that bothers me about this. You might be able to get the chips just by playing well, right? Without even having to do this. Just make the raise, and you might still get the same result. So you're kind of lowering yourself unnecessarily, potentially. The other thing that's crazy, James, is that there is a contingent of people out there who think this is a perfectly acceptable way to play. It's poker.
Okay.
This is poker.
Okay, well, let's see as this event plays on what happens, and we can discuss this in more detail. So Freites with ace-4 of strawberries. Juan Maceras is called on the button with king-queen. Pedro Pellicer with pocket tens.
It's worth noting that with 11 players left, you know, this is short-handed. This is
Yes. We're looking at a table of 6, a table of 5, the field not combining till they're down to 9. Play ending on day 4 when you get down to 8, which is the official final table.
And this is, you know, pretty coolery for how short-handed they are.
Right. And Pedro announces
Freites
call.
going to do it to him again.
Showing ace-4 of hearts against Pedro's pocket tens.
Pellicer's like, I got it this time. You got it in bad before. This can't run out like garbage town for me twice.
He's fought pretty strong there.
Yes, yes, he sure has.
And in the late, of course, it's a set.
You don't have to call for the quattro.
Turn is the 5 hearts. So still not for Pedro. Pedro needs to catch.
Freites just has to fade a 10 on the river to survive.
Pellicer, more like Peloton, because he's going to be on his bike pretty soon, I think. Pobrecito Pellicer.
Freites up to 5.5 million. What a turnaround. Ace Jack for Alex Gomez.
It's worth reiterating also how high the stakes are. I mean, there is an insane first place prize, 1.5 million.
Yeah.
And some pretty good prizes along the way. Oh boy.
Pedro all in with ace 10, dominated by Alex Gomez with
5.
ace Jack.
5? 6 maybe. Yeah, I'll call.
Just clarifying, definitely calling. Yeah.
And Alex gonna call.
Só segurar, filho.
Pedro is all in with ace
Domination Nation.
check.
Só segurar, só segurar.
Ace 10
Bonitinho.
suited. And ace jack. Ace of clubs and check of hearts. The all in for Pedro is around 600,000.
Just hold one time.
You're fine. Tres rotabudos.
Yes, I promise. Thank you.
Wow.
Diamonds are a factor.
329.
And Alex Gomez absolutely hates that flop. Pellicer is now actually a statistical favorite.
Turn goes 2 of hearts.
safe turn card.
So there's a 9 and a 3 for the split. Diamond for the win, 10 for the win for Pedro.
Chop out.
And ace-jack holds, and Pedro Pellicer, who ran horribly during those last few orbits, is eliminated in 11th place. Makes $70,000 in prize money. Sorry, 70,000 euros.
Yeah, I know. That was brutal. What to say?
Should have been a lot more.
And that's going to take us down to the final 10. We're down to 2 tables of 5. So this next hand is the one you should be watching. When we get to the river, by the way, Joe and I are going to shut up. I'll just turn the volume all the way up, and you can listen to what the players say and listen to what the TD says when he's called in. Joe and I will then discuss it afterwards. Six-5 of hearts, and Freitas raises in early position. So Eugene Unite has just been moved to the feature table. King Queen in the big blind.
Seems like a pretty standard spot to call. Don't need to get into a pre-flop raising war.
Does just call.
Flops really well.
Absolutely. Top pair. Bottom pair for Freitas. And he continues with a pair of 5s, 200,000.
It's almost a full pot bet. It almost seems like a little too much if someone has, you know, a really big hand here that's going to have a king beat, you know, for aces or a set.
Unite calls. Turn card is a 5. Trips for Freitas, who's now a 95% favorite, and action goes check, check. 6 on the river. That is a full house for Freitas. And because of the lack of a bet on the turn, Unite value bets his king. Okay, let's see how this plays out.
Much. Okay, raise. Yeah. I'm sorry, I call. I call.
Sorry, you announced race.
Speak English.
You announced race.
It's a call.
Thomas Kremser is the TD of this event, who has been called to the table.
Wow, you see that? You didn't see it?
I think this is exactly the same situation that we had already in this tournament, when you did exactly the same move and you had the nuts. I just share this information with you, okay? What I say? You understand? So I force you to raise now, and you have the option what you do. Twice, you need to put in another 275. And it's the option. Actually, sorry.
So the ruling is, has to raise the minimum.
So because of what happened with
Oh, do you force him to min raise?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not my option whether or not he raises. It's my option what to do now, right? That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand.
And Unite calls.
Same situation
Yeah.
again.
No, I know. I heard about this before the tournament started.
So ugly, I can tell you.
No, I mean, I heard about this guy a week ago. I heard about this guy a week ago.
Okay. So we kind of saw what happened there, right?
Yeah.
Thomas Kremser took the decision to disclose to Eugene Unite that this has happened already in this tournament. That he had this confusion of, oh, English, I don't speak English, call raise. And Kremser ruled, you have to make the raise, and then gives Unite the option. At the time, I actually thought that that was really good what Thomas Kremser did there, which was to disclose all that information. Subsequently, having spoken to many other people in this field, and Neil Johnson I know has very strong opinions on it. I think Mike Savage weighed in on it as well. And they both feel that the TD is absolutely within their rights to take action here. It's not a case of just let the move go and let the player decide and give them all the information. And actually, the more I think about it, if you are pretending that you are losing the ability to speak English, if you're pretending that you're confused, and you do this on multiple occasions, either to elicit sympathy or somehow bypass the rules of the game, to me, this isn't misinformation that's part of the game. This is a blatant violation of the rules. This isn't just an angle shoot. This is blatant cheating as far as I'm concerned, and I think he should actually suffer a penalty. I think his hand should be killed. I think he should be given a one-orbit penalty, because if you repeatedly do this and you repeatedly feign stupidity and repeatedly try to take advantage of the fact that you're not a native English speaker, you deserve to be punished.
Man, I don't know. Like, I definitely at the time agreed that I thought Kremser did everything he possibly could, right? That you can't really affect the action. You can't kill the guy's hand. I think I still stand by that you can't kill the guy's hand. I don't know if this is allowed or not. Where I'm leaning, where I'm inclined now is to say, you know what, sir? Just this one time, we're going to make an exception and allow you to take back your raise. I'm ruling it a call.
But clearly what happened the last time, as Kremser ruled, it happened already. So last time he got away, well, not got away with it. Last time they ruled, okay, you got confused. English isn't your first language. It's a call. And when the cards went on the back, he had the nuts. So then you get suspicious, right? Especially when you've heard the rumors of what's happened at other events. That's why Kremser says, this time, I'm not going to let you get away with just calling. This time it is going to go as a raise, as a min raise, but I'm telling the other player what you did last time so he knows. Which, okay, I still slightly respect that move. I'd have more respect if you actually took action and said, this is BS, and you're taking advantage of the situation. And we've heard him throughout this event. He speaks near fluent English, so don't give me this I don't know the difference in the words call and raise nonsense. It's a blatant angle. It's blatantly not in the spirit of the game, and the TD is absolutely within their rights to do something more definitive to stop this kind of nonsense.
But I also think there's a look, I'm not taking this side of the argument, but I think there's also an argument that this isn't cheating and this is part of the game to deceive, to be deceptive. I would never play this way. I would be furious with anyone who play this way. Someone play this way at my house.
I think the reason why I have such a strong feeling about it and why I don't think this is fair deception is because there are many players who compete on the EPT who do not speak English fluently, who do struggle to speak English or struggle to speak the native language of the country where the event's being held, and sometimes make mistakes, need assistance, and need fair rulings from the tournament staff. Don't take advantage of that when you're doing it to kind of like try and elicit sympathy when you're blatantly trying to get more chips from your opponent.
Interesting comment here from Andre. It says it's cheating if it's against the rules. You have to point clearly at which rules are broken, and I don't think it's a clear broken rule.
Everything is covered off.
There's a strong argument for that.
Everything is covered off, by the way, when you talk about the rules, by, I can't remember what rule it is. It's either 1 or 2 on the list of the EPT T's and C's, which is the TD's ruling is final, and the TD has the right to make any ruling in the best interests of the game. And punishing this guy is absolutely in the best interests of the game. Anywho, we continue.
And the crowd goes awkward. Just one guy, he's like, yeah, that's my guy out there. Cheat to win.
We got a poll going, people. Was Freitas out of line, or is that just poker? 91% say it's an unacceptable move. 9% saying it's an acceptable part of poker. I'm going to vote.
I wish there were another option on that. I voted for unacceptable of those two options. It's kind of like that thing in baseball where you can plow the catcher over at home plate. Like, it's not, it's part of the game, but it shouldn't be.
Well, now we get to sweat with Juan Maceras and play a hand against Ivan Freitas. Juan Maceras is our hero right now with pocket eights.
Man, I hate this.
7 bets.
Dat is van Billy O.
225.
I hate this. Yeah, Juan's pretty much behaving the way I would be feeling in this moment. You don't want to get bluffed by this joker. You also don't want to give him more chips when you're going to be behind very often in this spot. At least 50% of the time. Juan makes the call. And he ruined the ace.
I'm showing ace 4. 2 pair ace 4.
Juan's sister May watches in disbelief from the rail. $7 million now for Freitas. Maceras down to 1.2 million.
Hey, Thomas.
There's an all-in at the outer table. Alessandro Limblici at risk with King 5, dominated by Torsten Brinkmann with Ace 5. And that ace on the flop pretty much seals the deal. Limblici drawing dead on the turn. That's going to take us down to 9. The final redraw of the EPT Season 7 Grand Final takes place. The final 9 players will take their seats on the main stage. Ivan Freitas, the chip leader right now with 5.9 million. The shortest stack being Thomas Pettersson with just over $1 million.
Final 9 players all seated at the same table. 1 elimination away from the official final table.
By the way, we've missed the real question, which is, knowing all that, should Eugene Unite have called the river?
That was the part that always bothered me the most, and I know it shouldn't, is that he still called. Like, I just wish the information would have helped him, but it didn't.
Saris opening with queens, and Thomas Pettersson has got ace-king. Are you ready to strap in for the sickest and classicest of all races?
I want to do a race with Skyrim, which came out in 2011, but I think everything else is a domination.
Exact complete.
Gomez with 9s in the small blind. Yeah. Good fold, Alex.
I call.
Saris calls. Let's do it.
Pedro announces call.
Queens.
Pedro showing pocket queens against
Señorita.
ace king.
No more señoritas.
Big flip. Big flip.
Flop is 5 of hearts, queen of hearts, and deuce of clubs.
Lock it up.
So Juan hits his set. The ace of hearts.
Ja, yes, ja. Dam kom den.
Oh, it's never easy in poker. Straight draw for Pettersson. Needs a jack on the river. But it's a king. And Pettersson's eliminated in 9th place. The other 8 players have all made the final table of this 10K event. They will compete for the trophy and the first prize of 1.5 million euros. And it's Ivan Freitas who'll be coming into that final table as chip leader. Juan Maceras second in chips, followed by Andrei Donyuk, Eugene Unite, Torsten Brinkman, Alex Gomez, Tamas Lenvai, and Andrew Lee. How's the voting going? What was the conclusion of the poll? I'm pretty
like
certain.
91 to 9 or something.
Yeah, I mean it's very hard to be on Hilton's side in that situation. So let's just recap where we are before we get to this final table and play down to a winner. This was the EPT Grand Final of Season 7, the last leg of the 7th season of the European Poker Tour. Took place the 7th to the 12th of May 2011. So this is 9 years old, this event. Took place at the Casino Grand Madrid. They all paid 10K to play. 104 got paid. 686 total entries, now down to the final 8. All guaranteed with 8 players remaining. 130,000 euros up top. A first prize of $1.5 million, plus, of course, the grand final trophy. This is the final table of the Madrid leg of EPT Season 7. Let's do this! $40.80 blinds.
Good to know.
Everybody nervous?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm a little
Relax,
nervous.
guys.
Raise.
Joe, why are you flossing midstream?
It's just that I wasn't really. I just had it. You know, when something's in front of you, sometimes you just pick it up.
Thank you for snitching on him, chat.
I just had it hanging out of my mouth.
You're gross. Freitas has opened with ace-queen. Maceras has flattered with jack-7 in the big. And flop's pretty good. Action goes check, check.
How much?
Baby Dog 975 says it's not gross. Flossing is an excellent habit. So is wiping your ass, but you wouldn't do it on camera. Maceras pairs his jack on the river.
How much?
350.
Well, this is interesting. Oh.
Penalty. Shut it down.
I'm in favor of the dealer having a flamethrower.
You know, flamethrower is pretty tough to aim just at one person.
You know, sometimes in these situations, Joe, you get collateral damage. But, you know, if we suddenly go from 8 players to 6 due to... Brinkman's opened under the gun with ace-king. Domination Nation. Freitas with ace-queen in the big blind.
Raise.
While we're discussing the precision or lack of certain weapons, that's what always amused me about the guards at the World Series of Poker main event when they brought the money out, having shotguns. Again, not a particularly accurate weapon. What happened there?
Nice hand. That's what happened there. Nobody knows what to do anymore. That's what happens when there's a mistake at the table or an angle shoot. It just makes everything weird. And although it's interesting to watch, I don't envy these guys having to play for millions of dollars now with this like weird thing in their head.
He just folded ace king there. He folded ace king to Freitas.
I mean, well, Unite called after he got told the guy was probably angle shooting him. Things get weird.
I'm very confused. Well, Unite has opened with ace queen. Andrew Lee with pocket threes in the small is all in.
$1.6-ish.
Freitas asking. Is he really going to call it off with queen 9 and Eugene still act?
I love you, sell my vein. I love you, sell my vein. 10,000.
I love you, saw my vein.
Give the guy a break. He doesn't speak very good English. Seven Gamble says, has anyone in a Bond movie used a flamethrower? Yeah.
Wow.
When they raid Blofeld's headquarters in the Alps in on Her Majesty's Secret Service, guy's a flamethrower. Guy gets absolutely roasted.
I think there's a training scene in like From Russia with Love where there's a flamethrower being used also.
Where they use live targets.
Maybe 3.
Anyway, huge flip here.
Can we not talk about flamethrowers in Bond films?
Like Fringe versus Smallville, one of these two things from 2011 has a slight mathematical advantage.
9-9-4.
It's close, yeah. Don't do it.
4-as sász vagy dáma.
3, not 4. 9's fine.
11 cards. Andrew Lee needs to fade on the river. Aces, queens, 7s, and 4s.
But scary. Scary, yeah. 6.
It's a 4, and we have our first player out from the final table. Andrew Lee gets counterfeited on the river, busts in 8th place, and cashes for 130K.
Hey, the good news is at least he doesn't have to deal with Ivan Freitas asking if he loves his vein anymore.
Yeah, good hand. Good luck, man. Take it down. Take it down.
Thanks, man.
Ah, damn.
Damn! Unite opens with ace queen of diamonds, raises to 200,000. Jack 9 of spades for Juan Maceras in the small blind, calls.
Yeah, about 3 million?
3.5.
3.5, okay.
And I guess we're going heads up to the flop, which is 10-4 deuce with 2 diamonds. This is all Unite.
All Unite long. I wish I had the optimism to stick around. on a board like this.
Yeah, Maceras calls the 250k and does pair his 9 on the turn.
Ugh. I feel like this entire tournament, both in what we've seen already and future, Eugene Unite is all of us. Wow, all right, well done.
Go Eugene. Kyle asks, with which line does Benicio del Toro take extreme liberties in License to Kill? All of them. By the way, please observe the UK spelling of the word license as per the film's official title, even on the American poster. What's the one he says at Carrie Lowell when she appears? You did!
I didn't even remember Benicio del Toro being in that movie. I don't think I've rewatched License to Kill since it was first on Homebox 25 years ago. 30 years ago. Shoot.
Oh yes, when he implies to Felix that his wife was sexually assaulted. We gave it a nice honeymoon. He is good in that film, Benicio del Toro. It's worth watching for him alone, to be honest.
I'm all in.
So Unite opens to 200k, Maceras flats with ace queen, and Brinkman is all in for 1.5 million with the best hand, pocket jacks.
I don't like it with eights. Got 5 million. If only put 200,000 in. I think you can walk away from this. Pretty rarely going to be a hand worse than eights. Wow. Nice. Wants to gamble.
Oh, gets rid of the ace queen. That's the hand Brinkman didn't want to be up against.
You have? I have eights. I have jacks.
Natalie Hoff at this point was with Torsten Brinkman.
I seem to remember a joke about them driving matching Volkswagens or something.
Really? You have developed in your commentary. Always coming 7.
No NFL Ed. She is no longer with them. She's with Felipe Ramos, and they have a darling child together.
So still help for Eugene. You would need to hit an 8.
No 8 for Unite. That is the double up for Torsten Brinkman. More than a double up when you consider the dead money from Juan Maceras.
Juan Maceras must be steaming right now. Steaming. If Unite folds the 8s like he probably should, Maceras calls with the ace-queen, and Brinkman is out.
Brinkman now 3rd in chips. I love the fact that Lenva has not taken off his bag.
Take your bag off. Stay a while.
Lenvi has the look of a ladderer to me. He is that Hartigan-esque, just going to fold my way to a big score.
Anybody that's not opening 5-6 suited under the gun is a ladderer.
Yeah. Alex Gomez all in here with 8-7. He's run into the 10s of Eugene Unite.
Cuando paga él. Claro, yo no estoy jodido porque me hayan tirado.
King 5-3.
That's not good. Dead of the turn. Somehow no.
Okay.
That was way more dramatic than it should have been. Tripled his equity from 1% on the turn to 3% on the river.
So that sees Alex Gomez's Triple Crown dreams finished. Kyle, which model of car did the man with the golden gun jump? I'm assuming you're meaning which model of car was used in the famous barrel jump. I believe it was an AMC Hornet. That has never made any sense to me. Why the Louisiana Sheriff, first of all, the fact that he's on holiday in Thailand, that's weird enough in itself, right? There's no way that guy has a passport.
Hilarious coincidence.
Secondly, why is he getting a demonstration of an American car in a showroom in Bangkok?
That's what you do on vacation. Next question.
Absolutely. No
I
sense
thought that was
whatsoever.
one of the best stunts to this day. Well, maybe not to
Yeah,
this
no,
day,
it's a
but
great
up-
stunt. Shame they ruined it with the comedy sound effect.
What is up with these train wreck hands? We got Torsten 3-betting 9-7 of clubs.
There we go. Len via the ladderer gets away from Ace Jack.
Roots are being nice because I had the ace jack. I had the ace jack. Ace jack? Yeah. No way.
Juan Macera's disgusted at Lenvi's folds. You cling on there, Tamas. I've every confidence you can leapfrog a few of these guys. Oh, he must have played some hands because he's now moved up to 4th in chips. Juan Maceras is now the short stack with less than 2 mil.
No chance he's not still steaming about that ace-queen hand.
Yeah. 60,000, 120,000 blinds. 6-handed. The final table of this event from May 2011.
Raise.
It is a raise to 245,000. Pocket fives for Eugene Unite.
Poor Eugene. I'm all in.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Well, Freitas got him yesterday. I think Freitas is going to get him again.
Maybe as like an I'm sorry, he would just be like, you know what? I fold.
Well, it could be that he meant to fold and accidentally said the word call.
Eugene knows there's no such thing as poetic justice.
Karma, not
Slow
a
rolling.
thing.
It's so nice he brought his daughter.
No.
Pocket 5, pocket 9.
Pretty good English there.
Well, maybe he took lessons overnight.
Pocket 5, pocket 9.
Hey, it's Bolivar Palacios. By the way, guys, it doesn't matter how many times you scream 5 into the chat. It's not going to change the outcome of a hand played 9 years ago.
What are you talking about? We don't know what's going to happen here.
We've just said there's no such thing as karma. There's no such thing as justice. Another epic celebration from Ivan Freitas. Umberto Brenner's now on his rail, and Eugene Unite is eliminated in 6th place, cashing for 250,000 euros. Freitas close to 8 million chips now. 5 players remaining.
Yeah. One day I will wake up with a big hand. You're gonna double me up, and I'm gonna crash the table. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. I'm not showing light.
ASG says, why would any legit player join his rail after hearing about what he did? I just think for some people, first of all, some people are able to go, look, he's my friend.
250.
It sucks that he did that, but he's still my friend. But I think for some folks, it's just, no, it's part of the game. Which, by the way, to be clear, I am not arguing.
Three bet from Maceras. Re-raises to 200,000. Brinkman not folding ace-king this time, all in.
Calls the all in.
Y el J contra Oscar, y el J. No, yo tengo medio, yo estaba pelado, tengo 13 ciegas, no pasa nada. José, José. Saben las nuestras, saben las nuestras. José, José.
Look how small of a favorite ace-king is here.
This is due to folded cards.
That's going to go quite a bit.
Yeah, Maceras now a 3-1 underdog. Looking for a jack or a 10. Six cards, needs to hit on the river. It's a 6 on the river, and Juan Maceras is eliminated in 5th place. That's worth 315,000 euros. Everyone's now guaranteed 400k. We are down to the final 4.
The win from Juan was 1,850,000.
Brinkman up to 6.76 million. Is he on the brink of an EPT win?
Maybe.
Freitas still with the advantage right now, 9.2 million. Daniel Yuck, the low man at the table.
You know what's weird is I find myself, and I apologize, kind of just watching this instead of talking over it. RSDFX wants Freitas to get coolered. Don't we all?
Erase.
680.
Brinkman re-raises from the small blind. Action back on Freitas. Jack 9 offsuit.
6.
People getting real loosey-goosey with Jack 9 today.
Interesting board.
This could be the cooler we were all waiting for.
Yeah, the ace high flush draw for Brinkman, the jack high flush draw for Freitas.
680.
The key thing is, though, Brinkman has made some very disciplined, some would say conservative / tight laydowns. Should Freitas get really bluffy and start blasting here, could get Brinkman to fold.
I wish I was good enough to fold the ace of clubs on a monotone club board.
Freitas does raise to 1.5 million.
I tell you what, I am not.
Cool.
Brinkman makes the correct call, has the best hand and the best draw. What's it going to be, Joe? The jack or the 9 on the turn? It's the 9.
Check.
And quick shove from Freitas. Brinkman checks. Freitas immediately announces all in. Shoves on Brinkman, who has to fold.
I don't think that you can get any other hand to fold. Like a 10's not going to fold.
Ivan shows jack of clubs and 9 of diamonds. Yes.
With ICM considerations, you are going to get a lot of folds there, though.
I guess showing it isn't really the in your face he probably thought it was.
11.6 million now for Freitas, 4 million for Brinkman. That's right, baby Doug. We had worms on the screen. Andre Danilyuk with pocket 3s on the button. Shoves for his last 1.78 million.
1,708,000.
Freitas and Brinkman have hands in the blinds. Freitas in the small has ace-9.
You are sleeping? Yeah. Do you like go home?
And you?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I don't speak English.
Raise all in.
Like owned by David Beckham versus Meow by Katy Perry. One of these two things from 2011 has a slight mathematical advantage.
Danilyuk needs to win this flip to survive. Well, 3s are holding post-flop. But Freitas has 10 outs. Aces, 9s, and 8s all work in his favor.
Let's go, guys. Maybe we can retroactively change what happens here.
Danilyuk now has to fade. Aces, queens, 9s, and 8s.
So many outs.
The river is an ace. Barry Greenstein makes an unwelcome appearance. And Andre Danilyuk is dispatched in 4th place. He cashes for 400,000 euros as we go 3-way at this final table.
$14 million. That's got to be a massive chip lead, right?
Ridiculously big.
Hey, there's your boy.
Oh, yeah. Thomas Lenvai with 9s in the small blind. Brinkman open on the button with Jack 8.
Lenvai the ladderer.
This card play?
Wow.
The card play? Yeah. I need a card.
Never.
Wow.
Ace-9 again.
Much behind? Come. Morning.
Easy fold for Brinkman. And Thomas Lenvai gets it in as near enough a 2-1 favorite, but no one can run quite like Ivan Freitas.
1 overcard is more than enough.
I mean, why just give him running hearts as well, just to, you know, really, really stick it in Lenvai's eye.
I mean, to me, ultimately, that's why the angle is such a shame. Because this should be an otherwise celebrated, happy grand final table run. He's an older dude. All the South Americans are on the rail going bananas. Everything about this should be happy.
Well,
and instead of that, we're all annoyed.
I agree, but I am happy that Thomas Lenvai managed to ladder up to 3rd place and earn himself 550,000 euros. I mean, Torsten Brinkman's got a very, very difficult job ahead of him. He's at such a disadvantage chip-wise. He's no doubt the better player here, but 4.7 million against even Freitas' 15.8 million. Better than a 3-to-1 chip advantage.
Good play.
I raise. I call. Good luck.
Blinds 80,000, 160,000.
Finley says, I hope this Torsten wins. He seems like a competent guy. I agree.
Freitas opens on the button with 6-4 of clubs. Ace deuce for Torsten Brinkman. And he folds it. I mean,
Okay.
Torsten, if you're not going to try, we may as well just give Freitas the trophy now.
I mean, does he have some kind of, think he has some kind of live read or something? I don't understand folding ace deuce.
No, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Maybe he just has an unlucky, like one of those, I have an unlucky hand and it's ace deuce.
Race.
I mean,
9-4, that's the one.
But you got to wait for the 9-4, Joe. You can't be playing your aces heads up. You got to wait to be dealt 9-4 suited.
Oh my goodness.
Freitas calls with deuces.
Baby Dog says maybe he wants to ladder up to 1.5th place. 1.5 place.
Okay.
Hits 3 overcards to deuces.
Yep.
We're going to check.
Checks it back.
Okay.
Delayed c-bet. Gets the job done. $330,000.
I just think you maybe want to tell this story a little earlier.
Oh.
He can fire another barrel. Sizable bet on the river will get the job done. The key here is to not check it back on the river.
Oh, Torsten.
1.3 million in the middle. 680,000. Chunkier.
If he gets called here, it's like over.
Cool.
9 high. 9 high.
Yeah.
This is good. Come on.
Yes, deuces are good. 9 high, not the best hand, shockingly.
Poor Torsten. Torsten getting tortured. At the very least, I'd be like, do you think we could switch seats so that at least your frickin' rail isn't screaming in my ear?
10-9 of diamonds for Freitas. I love that from DJ White. 9 high like a boss? Nah. However, Ace King, this could get Brinkman back into the game.
I'm on it.
I call.
Wow, quick call from Freitas with 10-9. I know Brinkman's short, but he's not that short.
Showdown, please.
Look, when you just... always turn over the winner. Like 10-9's as good a hand as any. 40% of the time the tournament's over on this hand.
I love the fact that Vladimir Troianovsky is now among the players on Freitas' rail. And there's a 9 on the flop.
It's just... There's one thing we've learned from this tournament, is that karma is real.
Unless there is an ace or a king on the river, we have a champion here in Madrid. And even Freitas has won the Season 7 EPT Grand Final. Karma ain't real, folks.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
But you're right, Joe. How awesome is this winning moment? This is one of the best winning moments we've ever had on the EPT, and yet I feel no joy.
It would have been. Like a winner from Venezuela, right? Like, hey, that's something to be celebrated.
The emotion, the jubilation, the joy on his face at the moment that he realizes he's won. It's fantastic, and yet there's just that nasty taste in the mouth about all of it.
Yep.
900K for Torsten Brinkmann. 1.5 million euros to Ivan Freitas. He is the last EPT winner of Season 7, taking down the grand final, lifting the trophy, and scoring himself 1.5 million euros.
Press.
And there is a chance that we will see Mr. Freitas tomorrow, because we are going to be covering the Champion of Champions event. We'll get into the detail tomorrow, but basically what you need to know is after that event, the next day in Madrid, they had a free roll, a one-day MTT for every previous EPT champion, and many players who'd won EPTs from Season 1 through to the end of Season 7 rocked up in Madrid to play in this tournament. It was live streamed, it was televised, and we are going to be streaming the Champion of Champions, or to use its abbreviation, the Cock, tomorrow on the final ever edition of EPT Retro. We've said before, we might in the new year go back and look at old TV shows, some early seasons of the APPT and the LAPT, but that'll be it for the EPT. This will be our last stream before we segue straight into EPT Online. So please make sure you join us tomorrow and for the rest of the week, because we're going to be here at every day at the usual time. We've got some new poker for you Wednesday onwards. That is 6:30 UK time, 7:30 p.m. Central European time, 1:30 p.m. if you're on the East Coast in North America. Thank you very much for your company today. Really enjoyed, Joe, everyone weighing in on that Freitas hand. I'm sure we had many people seeing it for the second, third, fourth, fifth time. Many people clearly seeing it for the first time tonight, though, as well.
Yeah, you know, it's just a shame that sometimes some of the most interesting things that happened are things we wish didn't happen. But, you know, I will at least admit it makes for some very interesting, compelling poker.
So thanks for your company over the last few hours. We'll see you tomorrow for the last edition of EPT Retro. But for now, from Joe Stapleton and me, James Hartigan, it's good night.